Guys, come on. You're taking bets on whether we're going to be late or not, and we're only 2 minutes late. Everyone.
Hey, new record.
What's up?
Wow.
So we're getting pretty good. Pretty darn good.
Look at us go, guys. Okay. You taught us well.
Let me just down all my shishito
Who's
peppers real quick.
winning this bet? I'd like to know.
There weren't a lot of bets this one. There were a few, but... Oh. I don't know if you're in chat. Natalie Lay Du Swindell is a hot tamale.
Yeah, Natalie the hot tamale.
It's like you're holding a hot tamale while you're announcing it.
I'm eating you guys. Someone said that their favorite moment ever on the podcast was Jen imagining Harry Potter bare naked on a horse.
I mean, that should go down in the books.
Yeah, that was
Well,
a pretty
I couldn't stop thinking about
classic.
that last
That was
recording.
so funny. Oh my god.
Is it funny to listen to it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have yet, actually.
It came up 3 times. It was so funny.
Oh,
in
in the recording.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you anything else that happened in that recording. That I can tell you.
Wait, I forgot. Wait, you were here. That's right, right? Were you?
No, I was here.
No,
She was here.
Physically, I was
Physically,
here.
at least.
Physically,
Yeah.
I was here.
I
Mentally,
forgot.
not so much.
I was thinking of the live read.
Oh, the
And
live read,
then
I was not here.
yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
I was here physically last time.
No,
but-
you're right. Sorry.
Did I talk? Nope. Maybe a few
Wow.
words.
One second.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was
having
funny.
you here though, because you get me. Sometimes I just have to look at you
Yes.
and do like a giggle.
Sometimes.
or-
It was all the time. Now that my
Now
brain
it's
is half addled,
sometimes.
it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is that a word?
It's
I
alright.
make up my own words.
No, that's good. Keep that going. That's good content anyway, but full support.
Did that make sense? Maybe? Half addled? I don't know. My sister tells me I speak my own language.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's
And I
why
really
we
And
do.
we'll
get
speak it
along.
with you. We'll try.
Yeah, but I have my
Jen
own
gets it.
language too.
That's
And
why
then-
we get each other.
We could. We'll speak all the languages
But
here.
you know what? He's getting really good at interpreting. Are you okay
You right,
back
John?
there?
All
All right.
Oh, I put some of my food in there too.
Wow. You
That's what
balanced
it's
things precariously. Sabotage for
Sorry.
John.
Bring it home.
Yeah, I do like trying to predict what you're going to say so I can answer before you ask the question.
Is that what you do?
Well, sometimes, yeah. Like I did it pretty well
Wait,
the other day.
You are
oh,
so
the bookshelf
good.
moment.
The bookshelf moment.
Yep.
Oh,
What
man.
happened?
Jen walked up and looked at the bookshelf with intention. And I knew right away she was looking for a particular book that she wanted to read before dinner. And she had not spoken the name of this book or said anything about it in not like a day or two, like 3 weeks. But I knew
Since we
because of the
got
time of
this
day and
book.
whatever, she like walked up. So I walk over as I'm walking to the bathroom and I pull the book out and just like stick it right there and then just walk away. And I'm like, well, in case it's not the one she's looking for, I'm not going to be like, here it is. But I was like, draw her attention to it. And then it was the one. I was
that's
like,
impressive.
yeah, victory.
That is impressive.
I was like, how did you know? He's like, what did you say?
You remind
just
me of
know
Kyle,
you.
my brother. You're telling the story, and I'm like, that sounds like something he would do.
I was like, how did you read my mind? I
But-
said nothing.
Yeah, that.
There are only so many reasons you'd go to the bookshelf, and it wasn't for
Because I
Harry
don't
Potter.
read.
It's either Harry Potter or whatever he was
Yeah.
thinking.
I'm like, it's not for a journal, and I know where the Harry Potter book is, so.
That was hilarious. Did I tell you guys that story of when my brother read my mind? That one time?
I feel like, yes, but I don't
So we
remember
play
what it
this
was.
game. It's like a movie game where we'll say...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well, we're always quoting movies, and it's you got to figure out what the quote is. But we were doing a game where we were picking an actor or an actress and correlating them to a movie, and then from that movie picking another actor or actress, and then like it was like a trail
Oh, wow.
of like actor, actress,
Yep.
movie, every other, but it had to all be connected. So we're doing that, and I didn't even say anything. And he just like looked at me because we were like doing clues of something, and he just read my mind. Like
That
he
is
followed my
great.
trail of thought,
Yep.
and I just stared at him, and I was like, "That was weird." Like, how did you know? He was like, "I don't know. I just like we think similarly."
Yep.
But
Yep.
anyway, all that to say,
Wow.
that just reminded me of that.
I do
That's
remember
funny.
you saying that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Wow. That's you.
So you guys read each other's minds now. Only met a few
Well, we
weeks
try,
and
we
already
try.
know each other's
We
minds.
practice.
he reads my mind more than I can read his, which is scary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did say that last night, and I was like, I'm not trying to be hard to read, but we'll see. Maybe I'm just poker face all the time.
He's a good Aquamans.
Yeah, I don't
Always
like
blocking.
Dude, open up.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally
Be
open up.
vulnerable.
I think words do open me up, but I am my mind is still blocked, so I'm hard to read, even though I'm very easy to ask questions to.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
I like that.
It is a weird combo, but yeah.
I'm only thinking that because I've experienced that with other people too. Especially if you think they're always angry, they've got RBF, and
Oh my
they're the kind of
gosh,
people that you're like,
yes, I know.
I'm just not going to speak to them,
Yeah.
But then like once you do, you're like, oh, they're so pleasant. You just ask them anything, talk about stuff, you get to know them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a thing.
So that's you.
Sometimes,
I mean,
but more
maybe.
in my ability or other people's ability to read my mind. Maybe it's hard.
It can be hard. I'm learning.
It doesn't seem like it to me, but
No, the best is when he's doing a project of any sort.
oh yeah,
If
I do
it
look
is
angry.
art or when we were, what was it, knitting or painting or anything, he is seriously in tune with whatever project it is. And you can giggle, laugh, make like side comments, jokes, and look over, and he will not look away from the project.
Dedication.
And it's serious.
Get in the zone,
And
you know.
I'm like, you're no fun.
It's like, have fun with this. Come
When we
on.
did that paint sip thing, everyone's like focused on it, and Danny's pulls his up, and it's a masterpiece. And all of ours were like, here's a tree, and Danny's like, here's 13 million branches branching out of this one little thing. It was
That was so
incredible.
annoying.
But I was in the zone. I forgot there were other people
But you
there.
know what? Mine comes out not as good as yours, but I had so much more
You
fun.
have a lot of fun.
making it.
But the thing is, I also have fun. We just have fun different ways.
Internally. You're like,
And then afterwards, you're like, "Were you mad?" I'm like, "No, I was having a blast."
oh my
Could've
gosh.
fooled me.
So much fun.
That was so funny. That was this beginning of this year. We went to a pottery class,
Yeah.
and like I couldn't talk to him, and I was like, did I say something? Like, I'm just gonna focus on
just
my
in the
own
zone?
pottery thing.
yeah, I didn't know.
And he was like, "What are you talking about? I was having so much fun." And I was like,
You're like, "I want you to have fun with me, not just with your pottery."
"Yeah."
That makes sense.
Yep.
Speaking of Potter.
Whoa.
That was a good transition,
We're
Jen.
going to start a store called Harry's Pottery.
Hmm.
We need to start a lot of things.
Bookstore.
Oh
pottery
man,
store.
that one coffee shop though reminds me of your
Which one?
dream. The one we were just talking about, to a
Oh, the boom one?
highway. Yeah.
Oh.
It is. You'd really like it,
You were
and
trying,
you'll
and I
have to
failed.
go.
It's okay.
And it's going to be nice. I like when a coffee shop becomes like a wine bar,
Wait, can
somewhere
you rewind?
relaxing.
Sorry, I heard your voice, but
Oh,
I was,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
finishing my
That's
thought.
right. And I was trying to distract from your thought.
But
And
I wasn't following because
yeah.
I got stuck.
well, I like when a coffee shop becomes like a hang later, and it's good for old people like me. I don't want caffeine, so they have
Right.
good decaf options and wine and live music. So then you can kind of let it be artistic,
Yes.
musical.
It's,
Wine.
Yeah, and it's a
That's what I
big
want.
shop, and it's open till like 10. It was nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's only on the weekends. Have you ever been? To
I've never been.
Oh,
But it's rare to
that's
hear.
like your vibe, I think.
Yeah.
What do you
I'm
think?
going to walk in with my Harry Potter sweatshirt.
I think so. I think it
Oh,
is
okay.
his vibe.
Never mind.
Well, it's just hard to tell because
What is
I don't
my
think
vibe?
John's ever like pointed out a coffee shop, and been like,
Yeah.
"This
Well,
is
that's true
the
because you
spot."
don't. Well, maybe you don't enjoy coffee. Maybe they have
Yeah.
tea. I forgot
Yeah.
about
Good
that.
tea house, a good tea shop.
All we know about coffee shops is John sometimes hits on tennis women in them
This is true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That was my one
with
story.
secret notes.
Yeah. You
I
don't remember that story?
remember this.
It was the love of my life.
The love of your life. What, Tonks
just
was in a
kidding.
coffee shop.
No, it was a girl that walked into a coffee shop, and we were flirting with our eyes. And then before I left, I dropped her a note.
I thought it was in a coffee shop. I thought that was in the library.
No.
Oh.
But what was the coffee shop like, and was it your vibe?
It wasn't necessarily my vibe,
Okay.
but it was a coffee shop that was really close to my apartment, and I would steal their Wi-Fi. So I would go there, like, buy a water and then just steal their Wi-Fi for like 5 hours.
The whole
Good trade-off.
Yep, fair.
But it was like very industrial. It was like an industrial coffee house. So it was,
yeah.
like more industrial than Starbucks. It wasn't like the coziest place.
Oh, this one's cozy.
Yeah, give me a good cozy.
Yeah,
coffee
I
shop.
do like when there's
This one
more
has
cozy.
like nooks and stuff. This was
man.
good.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Need good
3
nuts.
level of stairs, not like levels. They're like
Oh.
2 steps.
That's lovely. I love that.
Because that adds like character to the
Yep.
space, yeah.
And then
it
they
helps you
looked
feel
like
like
they
separated
were-
from other people when
Yeah.
they're like
And they have it set up with like a desk and like drawing stuff that just has
so
paper.
obviously.
Really?
And it has colored pencils, and it looked like they were hanging up people's artwork too. I'm sure you had to, make it. But we were doing our own little advertising for us.
For us?
Yeah, for us. Jen was drawing Dobby. It
Yeah.
was okay. It was okay. Honestly, it was a pretty good Dobby. Here's why. Because if someone looked at it, they would know it was Dobby. There's a chance if they had never seen it, they might think it was Yoda.
Or
But if they have seen both Star Wars
They've never
and
seen Star
Harry
Wars.
Potter, they would know it was Dobby.
What's his name from Lord of the Rings? It kind of looked like that too.
A Gollum look?
Yeah.
No, don't worry. It was strong
Yeah.
Dobby.
It's the
They'll
cute
know.
eyes.
They'll know.
Yeah, the ears. If Gollum had those big ears, it would be Gollum's ears are more normal.
That's fair, yeah. But it was, I think we left them there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So should we raise our glasses to Moody? Are we confirming that he's officially dead?
No, I still have some hope, but I'm going to raise my
they
glass
haven't
all the
found his
same.
body,
Exactly.
and the polyjuice thing's getting me a little.
But here's the thing. What I'm raising my glass to is not his death, but his willingness to take a hit for Harry. So I'm saying he's noble.
Harry.
I'll cheers to him, whether he's alive or not. And he's worthy. And if we find his body and he's dead, then, he gets a solemn cheers. But if he comes heroically back and he's alive, then he gets an even bigger cheers.
We're taking the cheers
but
back.
for now, it's a couple things we could raise our fire whiskey to.
What are the other things we're raising our fire whiskey to?
Well, I feel like still again to Dumbledore because I don't think we gave like proper. I feel like it takes a long time, And then this also, it
The
again is
will?
showing that he was thinking ahead. He updated his will whenever he needed to say, "Hey, if I don't make it, I'm gonna make sure there's something in place to help these kids do what they need to do." So that's thinking ahead, and I like that. And then I guess we could start to cheers for Lupin and Tonks. Right?
Yeah.
And then
Bill and Floor.
Bill and Floor
For the weddings?
soon.
if it happens.
Whoa.
His birthday, Harry's birthday.
Yeah.
And to
Harry's
Harry.
birthday, yeah.
So lots
If
of
it
things
happens,
to cheers.
hold on. You don't think the wedding's going to happen?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
What do you think? Someone's gonna call it off?
No, not call it off. Like
Who
there's
would
going to be
call
an
it off?
event, and like
Mrs.
they can't
Weasley
get
would call
married.
it off.
Mrs. Weasley out of stress.
Although, she's doing so much, she would just be like, I can't do this anymore. Just,
Poor little stress ball.
Bill seems a little quiet, but I think he's still confident. Maybe he's just a little nervous.
yeah. I don't think either of them would call it off.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to call it off. I just thought maybe it'd get interrupted. But
Yeah.
Yeah, having a wedding in the spot where the most hunted man on earth is risky, to say the least. So, yeah.
But as
fair.
Fleur says, she's good looking enough for the both of them. So it doesn't matter about Bill looking like a werewolf.
Well, apparently her parents were like that, right?
Yeah.
His
Husband's a little squat.
the
ugly
dad
guy
is
and-
short, like a foot
Yeah.
shorter and pudgier or not. I don't know what they described it as. I forget.
Oh, and to Hedwig. Thank you.
Oh.
Hedwig, good call.
Can't forget Hedwig.
And to our new hot tamale.
And to our new hot tamale.
Yeah.
What's her name? Natalie?
Natalie, yeah.
All right.
Glad you're joining
Ooh,
the hot tamales.
That was
It's
good sound
cheers.
effects.
Ooh, that was loud.
That was really loud.
He's
Press
like,
didn't
"Let's
break
break
there.
the glass."
Cheers.
It's an aggressive cheers.
What do you guys, before we officially start, give me
It's
quick
yummy.
thoughts on what you think of Albus Dumbledore's will?
Whew.
This
So glad we caught that on camera.
breathing fire over here.
She made like 3 different face expressions in like a second.
What did it start? Replay it for
I
us.
can't. I don't know if her
It was
eyes
like,
were
ooh,
like,
this is nice. It's almost festive. Oh my goodness, this is hotter than I thought. Ah, my mouth.
You're watching.
Everyone's watching. Oh no! Sorry, John. What were you saying?
don't even remember it. That was perfect. Give us the rundown of the facial expressions.
Yeah,
I just want
really.
that. That'll be the intro to the podcast.
I don't know. I can't see my face.
She just it was
But
like
good old Ogden.
shock.
They'll really
Everything
get
you said. It was like shock. This kind of tastes good. Spicy. Whoa. Aftermath.
Aftermath.
This is the first time I've ever had Fireball. Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had it one time. Long time ago.
I've had it a
That
few
was
times.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, look, the first time readers having the first.
There we go.
Well,
First time sippers.
well, I mean, with your face, it was your first time.
I think it was a long time ago. Oh boy. Oh, you know what I had it with? I had it with hard cider the first time I had it. So it was like
Oh, that's a good
cinnamon apple
idea.
drink.
Yep.
Oh, this is good for hot drinks. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Is there such a thing as fire whiskey?
I think that is what this is.
Yeah.
When she wrote it, I feel like she
Yeah.
must have been picturing this because I looked around and I don't think there's anything else equivalent.
Yeah.
But
Unless there
maybe
is in England, and,
yeah, I
and
was gonna
I didn't
say.
want to like do anything too drastic, but I'm surprised there isn't already an Ogden's Fire Whiskey that tastes pretty much like this, but a little better maybe. I mean, no offense to Fireball, but a little more
A little more subtle.
classy. The kind of thing you would actually cheers somebody if you think they died.
Tastes like
But
were those like cinnamon?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
candy
just saying that,
things?
yeah.
Oh.
A hot and
No. We were saying that way before.
yeah.
I was like, oh gosh, I went to my own head again.
Literally repeating
hot
exactly
tamales,
what we said.
maybe.
No, they're not hot
Fireball.
tamales.
I was like, Mike,
They're red hot.
Oh yeah,
I know, yeah.
red hots.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
what
Red
Jen is
Hots,
saying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
those were good. I actually like
what
those.
Ooh,
Were
hard
those
cider.
little? Or were those like
Yeah,
those?
they're little in a box. I thought.
And we were saying
What were
Big
those?
Red, the gum,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah.
the hot tamale things we actually brought here. I don't remember what they taste like because we didn't eat them.
It was like
Yeah,
it was
I
like
still
this
have those if
big.
you guys
It
wanna
was
try
a
those.
red thing, but they were hot. Like
I think I know what you
my
mean.
siblings would remember. What the heck
And I
were
don't
they
think it was Big
called?
Red
It was,
'cause those were a little,
individually
like-
wrapped.
Jawbreakers
No.
that were cinnamon flavored.
Yeah, were they like? I think that's what I would think it was.
Like firecrackers or like something fire in the name.
Warheads. Remember
Not
warheads?
warheads.
were
I
great.
love those things
Oh,
though. Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Oh my god,
Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
the wars you would have with them. How long can it last
Yeah,
in your
I
mouth? I don't know.
I
Let
know.
me try.
Yeah.
As she's looking that up, what do you guys think of the will of Albus Dumbledore? Very quickly.
It's lacking.
Yeah, but he didn't think he was actually gonna die, so I feel like he started it.
Okay, this is
Oh,
the
you think
beginnings?
he didn't finish the will?
Are they gonna find more pieces of the will?
Ooh, that'd be nice.
They're withholding stuff though. This Ministry of Magic's thing. I like how Hermione was like a lawyer
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
was crushing it.
Yeah,
She should
that
go
was
into
great.
You
magical
didn't
law.
have to do that. Blah, 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 blah. 30 days. Yeah. I like that the snitch thing was pretty great.
Mm.
And it's interesting
was?
that out of everyone, what?
You said it was pretty great. It was?
At least that Scrimgeour didn't know. Is that what you're,
Yeah.
what you're talking
It was
about?
And
Clever.
that I forgot that he had his mouth caught it and not his hands.
Yeah, and
That's
for a
what
second I was like, is that the solution? I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
But then they got all excited. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe it is. Womp womp.
I like how when he was telling them about that, he's like, "You don't remember my first ever Quidditch catch?" I'm sure Ron and Hermione are like, "Harry, we don't keep a literal record of every catch that you ever had in Quidditch.
Yeah.
Will you relax?"
that was good though.
Goodness gracious.
What did you think was going to happen when he touched it to his lips?
It was gonna talk
Sorry,
to
they're
him.
literally called fireballs.
Oh,
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Fireball.
Maybe it's the same company.
Womp.
what were you saying, Jen?
What did you
Thought
think?
I was gonna talk to him.
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like remember in the Triwizard Cup thing? With the shell, the mermaid thing?
Yeah.
He went underwater.
Yep.
So I thought
There's going to be Dumbledore's voice in there commanding him to do something or something like that.
we're giving him more information, which is what I wanted, and then I was very let down by it being words, but that was not even a full sentence, or barely was.
Yeah. Well, to me, it does feel like Dumbledore is trying to tell them more than he has currently. They just have to figure it out. Like,
Yeah, he's like
in the
a riddle
book
guy, right?
or with whatever Ron's going to have to do with his thing or the
You're gonna
snitch.
have to turn off lights.
I feel like more will be revealed that Dumbledore wants revealed, and it'd be nice if that was more than just
he
the
wrote
Horcrux.
something where it closes and you have to turn all the lights off, and he wrote something on the walls somewhere.
Yeah, like it's all of them
and
together,
it's with
right?
that book, like whatever.
And the book is a cipher. You can use the code, and like, I don't know. It could be a lot of different things like that, because then we get to hear more from Dumbledore.
Huh.
But right now we don't.
I mean, this is what he was doing when he was gone all the time.
Just coming up with a really elaborate like thing
Will.
instead of just telling them.
Yeah.
I'm like, goodness, Dumbledore. But I think Harry's
You know
age
what
might
I
play into it
also
too.
thought was funny was that I thought it was going to be one of the books that Hermione stole, but they were like, we could not find it. You were
That's
supposed to get
funny.
this book. And that's what I was waiting for.
That'd be great. That'd be so funny. He left you all these books on Horcruxes.
Yeah.
And Hermione's like, yikes, whoops.
So that would give it away. I finally got an explanation.
Yeah, it was satisfying.
Wait, which explanation was satisfying?
Well, just Horcruxes,
Oh.
like understanding them.
Yeah.
Like it feels like we're making progress, tangible steps.
Yeah,
we
not
understand that they
fully,
can
but-
be destroyed
Yeah,
and what they're
yeah.
in and how they can jump into people.
Yep.
I feel like that helps inform our
Yeah.
theorizing now.
And all this is stuff we're going to have to bring up in a bit, so let's just start and jump into it.
Juice.
I'm going to burp up some Fireball.
How's it? Very first time reader fashion.
This is the drinking game. Anytime Kristen burps,
Oh boy.
anytime Jen says ancient magic, anytime Danny mentions blood, anytime I say interesting, raise your glasses.
But we're
Anyway.
not held responsible.
Yeah, exactly. Drink responsibly.
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm John.
Jen.
Danny?
And Kristen.
That was Harry Potter and the First Time Readers.
Whoa.
This is Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. That was the fastest we've ever done. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were
I was
speeding
in my
through
head.
it.
I went, that was really fast how we did that. And I was supposed to say this is, so I meshed those two. This is Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. There you go.
Oh, wait, that's your book, right? Because you never use it. And
Yeah, it's all yours. You could look at, have you seen the chapter images yet?
Oh my gosh. Wait,
What?
that's not even going to be funny because you had to be there. But I wanted to ask Danny, like, how much longer in the book?
Because I was reading this afternoon.
And he was reading this afternoon about one thing. And all of a sudden, he flicks my hand away from it, and it closes.
Well,
And I
because she was
like-
peeking ahead to see how far I was from the end.
Yeah.
And I was
do
writing
all
a
the
note
time.
on the other side, and then I was like, she's peeking, and I like quick stopped it.
We both stopped and were hysterically laughing. I'm like, I wish someone caught that on camera.
That's cute.
I thought you were trying to peek ahead, but she claimed she wasn't, so don't worry, we're good.
But
I
now
love that
I'm
you're
looking.
gatekeeping this so
Yep.
much.
Huh.
Great.
Interesting.
She just took a peek at the next one. She
No,
would.
come on. Don't do that.
She can't even help herself.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, Jen.
That doesn't give me anything.
Although, Jen,
That's what
need-
you'll say every time until it actually
yeah,
does.
you need to stop looking at memes on Instagram as well.
I didn't.
That
whatever
scares
I
me.
sent you, I didn't watch the whole thing.
It was so funny though. Oh my gosh, with the faces, the face mashing.
Oh yeah.
What did you say?
Wait, the one where they
I'll
were
show you later.
changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't
a
watch-
filter on Instagram where there are people, someone's face changes something really funny, and someone did like a Harry Potter scene,
Uh-huh.
and all the people's faces were like this, and it was like a really serious scene. It was so great.
I
great.
most of the time don't watch them. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
watch like a
You just see a
second,
snippet.
and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good, and send to John.
Okay, give me a quick summary of chapter 6.
And Danny, go.
Wait, what happened?
Chapter 6
I
is
just
the
read this, like-
chapter. Oh, you want to do it?
I mean, I was gonna say I just read it like less than an hour ago. I should know. Oh, the ghoul. I don't know. Ron has a ghoul that looks like him. So like,
Oh, nailed it. You nailed it.
for when they go away, so that it's his disguise.
Right.
So that people are gonna go after their families. Words are not happening.
No, those are good. Those are great words.
They're
And I
words,
think
they're not really
it felt like the
cohesive.
ghoul was such a small part of the chapter, but it says a
That's
big
the only thing that she
theme.
remembers though.
The chapter name.
But because
Way to
what it
call you
showed
out.
was
I know. Thanks, Danny.
what it showed was big because then it shows Harry that Ron and Hermione are serious.
Yeah.
They're dead serious about joining him on this
yeah.
quest.
Oh,
Hermione's
And so
thing.
that's when
Oh my
Harry's
gosh.
like, oh, they're really joining me. They've already made like moves here.
Hermione
That was really
erased
sweet.
her parents'
That's
memory.
so sad.
Which is over the line.
But she's gonna go back and restore it, and if she doesn't, then they're gonna live happy
a
lives.
happy
They don't
life.
have a
And they don't
daughter.
even have to remember her or miss her, but that's also weird.
I know.
So now we know Horcruxes.
That was
Everyone
the
take a
best
drink
burp yet.
for Kristen's
Drink.
burp.
Everyone, drinking game.
Oh no.
And
It'll
Mrs.
just keep
Weasley is
happening.
trying to stop them from planning. So Mrs. Weasley is on guard against the three
Oh, yeah, Mrs. Weasley.
making any plans. And this is all wedding prep stuff still.
Wow. We're
Because she
on
is hoping that the
high.
less they plan, the more that they'll delay their leaving. But it doesn't make exactly. It doesn't really fully make sense. But
No, because
She's
she's
doing
wearing
everything she
herself
can.
out by coming up with
Yeah.
ideas for them to do.
I know.
She's trying.
I know.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the first lines that we get in the chapter. Ron says, "Well, you can't do anything about the." Ron mouthed the word Horcruxes till you're 17. You've got this. You've still got the trace on you, and we can plan here as well, can't we? Or he dropped his voice to a whisper. Do you reckon you already know where the you-know-whats are? No, Harry admitted. So where are the Horcruxes?
Great
Let's go over that
question.
again real quick.
No idea. We thought the sword of Gryffindor, right? Is what you said once.
Yeah, you thought the Sword of Gryffindor was one. Could it still be one? Is
But-
Dumbledore trying to send it to him?
Dumbledore didn't think it was
chalice?
one, right?
No.
What is that?
And that's why that was like a secondary thought of like Dumbledore. If Dumbledore's wrong, the sword would make a good one because the Hufflepuff glasses
Yeah,
were a
that's
Horcrux,
it.
right?
Is that a chalice?
Or I'm trying to think. Was it confirmed? I don't think so. But Dumbledore suspects it.
I don't even remember what the list we ran off was.
Yeah, it was at the end of the
Yeah.
last book.
Don't you have it written down somewhere? It was like the cup, the
Because the journal,
locket, the ring,
locket,
the journal.
ring,
That's
cup.
4.
2 more.
How do you guys remember this?
Well, Harry killed the journal, right? We
The
assume
locket
the journal
didn't
is
have
no more.
anything in it.
The locket, we hope
The
RAB
ring-
already took care of.
The ring Dumbledore.
The ring Dumbledore destroyed.
The cup has to be because that was one
I
of his
can't remember if
first
that was
thing.
confirmed or not, but in my head, the
It
cup is a
is.
good one. And then we were thinking if it's the cup and the sword and then like 2 more things that could be
Something with Harry's family or something.
a Slytherin thing, maybe.
Would he do that though? How would he have time to do that?
Something
Or
with
maybe
Harry's
he
family.
cut his soul before he killed Harry because he thought it'd be easy.
Yeah, that was one of the interesting questions too. When he was going to kill Harry, what object did he have that he was going to make into a Horcrux at that moment?
Right.
The crib.
Harry's crib is a Horcrux. That's why he's got to go back to Godric's Hollow to destroy that.
Something small.
And would anyone else know about it? Was it still there?
Seems like they're all small items.
someone else
kind
find
of,
it?
too, like that can be moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Where do you think they are located?
All over the place.
Yeah.
But places that mean something to him.
That is weird. They seem to all be in like significant places.
I feel like he trusted someone to help deliver them.
Yeah, like we had said, the
Somewhere.
journal with Lucius,
I
And he
think
was
R.A.B.
slacking.
might have helped with the...
but betrayed him.
I hope so. And then maybe going back to the house would be good because maybe he would find one.
Yeah.
It certainly seems like a good spot to go, but like Hermione said, a little too good
I know.
because
They'll be waiting.
Voldemort would have thought of
Yeah,
that
for
too.
sure. He's like definitely planning something.
Yeah.
He would like know that that's Harry's move and would want to corner him there or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna bring this up in the next chapter too, because the Horcrux discussion I think is a really pertinent one, obviously for the next chapter as well. But there's so much going on between what the Horcruxes are, how you destroy them, like really how you destroy them, and then where they're hidden. And this is like what they're thinking of at the moment. They're trying to figure some of that kind of stuff out. They're trying to figure out their first move. So we'll talk about that next chapter because that plays into like how the small discussion they have in that little chapter. But Again, give me really quick what you think the Horcruxes are. So we have the diary, right?
Yeah, the diary and the ring.
The diary and the ring. So there's 2.
And then Helga Hufflepuff's chalices.
Helga Hufflepuff's chalice.
Yeah, the ones that like the little cups.
Oh yeah.
And then the Slytherin locket. And
there's 4.
Wait, what we just said a bunch, and that we're missing one. Oh, the Sword of Gryffindor potentially being one, and then a Ravenclaw thing.
Okay,
but we don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
Just because the idea of each of the 4 founders having an item that is a Horcrux plus the ring and plus the journal, I feel like those would be 6 that make sense. But we've never heard of a Ravenclaw thing before. Yeah. And it seems weird that Harry has wielded a Horcrux without even realizing it in the Sword of Gryffindor, if that was one.
If that's one.
And so we're just kind of stuck like with a couple weird things. And then what was the significance of the ring again? That was Voldemort's parents' ring.
Uncle.
Or
no,
his uncle?
Grandpa's ring. That was passed down to the son. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but then I also was
side.
forgetting the locket.
Oh, it's a Slytherin thing also.
Well, I said the Slytherin thing, but then what about the locket?
And the locket?
Yeah, the ring and the locket.
Were.
But the locket that was the or the necklace that was the Horcrux in the cave wasn't the Slytherin necklace.
Yeah, it was. Wasn't it?
No, it wasn't because the Slytherin necklace
was taken by RAB.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but it was
supposed
taken.
to be.
But then what was the necklace that
It was a different one.
That was just a different cursed necklace that got Katie Bell and like all that. Okay,
that was something they bought at Borgin and Burke's. Yeah.
Who's schooling?
Jen with the facts
here?
right now.
Yeah, respect. So I feel like there are a few weird things like that. Another thing that was on my radar was the crown thing that signified the cabinet that Harry found in the room of requirement.
Dumbledore did mention one other thing that he potentially thought before.
I remember. Nagini.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said he's long been curious about the snake Nagini because he thinks that might be a Horcrux too.
I don't buy it. That doesn't
living thing.
Yeah, but actually, after Hermione's thing, it could make sense.
So that raises another question. If maybe you don't buy it, this is definitely a Dumbledore theory, and we don't know if everything that he thinks is completely true and perfect. But if it could be a living object, like a living thing, how does that make any sense that it could become like he could make a Horcrux something alive, something living?
Well, it would only make sense if he made the Horcrux a physical thing, and then the Horcrux jumped into a physical thing, into a living thing, because that's what Hermione said.
So like involuntarily, it almost jumped into.
It said if you reveal, or I forget her wording, but something if you emotionally connect enough, you reveal enough of yourself to the Horcrux.
Well, that's So that's something a little bit different because that's Ginny revealed herself, but she wasn't going to become a Horcrux herself. Oh, and she was going to be consumed by the Horcrux.
Consumed by it, but not controlled.
But Voldemort was able to turn into a snake, right?
But that's when?
Isn't that how he survived?
Way back when.
But he can't do that now.
I don't think he turned into a snake.
It literally said that's how he survived, by jumping to snakes.
Between critters,
his soul,
or
So that's the end. He like.
But that's what I'm saying.
He didn't become a snake. I think he just like existed in snakes.
Well.
Like Quirrell.
And there's a Horcrux right there.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. So is that how could Nagini's Horcrux jump to something else? Could the piece inside Nagini be jumping to different things? Is there another piece that's something in something else?
Jump to like Wormtail and like make him do stuff.
That would be a decent reason to keep Wormtail around because he seems a little useless in a lot of ways. But if he's just an empty vessel to be taken over later because he's maybe weak of mind. But the Nagini thing doesn't click. It doesn't feel nice. It feels like a stretch. Like, how could it be a Horcrux? It doesn't match any of the other Horcruxes.
But then what is
in the way we understand them now?
A pet?
Yeah, sure. I mean, same as Hedwig or Crookshanks or anything else. Like, a pretty intelligent magical critter pet, you know? But there could be more to it. I just don't know how. Because it could be a piece of Voldemort, maybe. I think it is, actually.
We also have like a slightly wild
the
theory.
same
Maybe
thing.
this is just my theory. But Mrs. Norris is actually like trapped in a cat.
Yeah.
It's an actual woman. Could that be
Oh,
possible?
yeah.
The possible case of Nagini.
I think Nagini...
It's R.A.B. in Nagini.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
But
You nailed it, Jen.
I'm also thinking when Harry saw the vision of Mr. Weasley getting attacked when he was guarding, that was from Nagini's perspective. So there must be a piece of Voldemort in Nagini. Or...
So sorry.
What, you got
It,
fizzies in the nose?
Oh yeah, big time. Let's take a sip, and I took a breath in. Sorry.
No, it's all good. But Nagini, I mean, I don't know.
So yet again, so we know for sure it's the diary, right? That's like a for sure thing. We know for sure the ring.
Well,
That's for sure
I
thing.
don't know how we know for sure any of it, though. Dumbledore is
it's all
saying it.
conjecture on Dumbledore.
But like the ring
But
feels,
those
the
things
diary,
have Horcrux
yeah,
feel to it.
big time, yeah.
So we'll say for sure those two things, and then you're saying the locket that was in the cave that isn't the real locket, but there's a real locket out there, possibly destroyed, possibly not. We're not sure yet. Already, we just gotta
What
find
about
R.A.B.
Harry Potter? Could he be like?
What, like in his scar or something?
Yeah.
No, but
Could Harry Potter be a Horcrux?
I just don't like that. 'Cause the scar burning, the connection, the something.
Because the connection, I don't know.
Interesting.
It
He's
just
his
feels
own
like how
person,
though.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out weird.
I know it's.
I'm just trying. I'm spreading it large so that way I can be right.
Yeah. Cast
We're
the
coming
wide
up with
net.
absurd theories just so we can cast in that large enough to maybe get on it.
Like, catch some kind of track.
I just think when we're saying things like the journal or the locket or the ring, those make a lot of sense. They feel like important. They're objects.
Well, yeah.
They're things you could
also-
destroy. Because it's different to say destroy rather than kill. Like you're trying to destroy the object. So
Well, that's
I don't know. What
maybe
else?
fair because if it's alive, it could die
So
easier than being destroyed. Like
Right.
it's an object that has to, like, it can't die on its own, kind of thing.
So even onto that, so that there's another interesting point in that could Ginny potentially be a Horcrux along with that line of reasoning? Because was she at the point of being like having the soul of Voldemort inside her? Or no?
I feel like it was on. It could have been.
it felt like she was being controlled by it, but
Yeah.
we didn't ever get a true.
Wait, is that what Quirrell was then?
Quirrell's weird. Quirrell's like that's like an
outlier.
anomaly. Like he was a host for a parasite essentially.
That's disgusting.
I know
Yeah.
it's gross. Yeah, it really is gross.
But like, if he wasn't, we wouldn't be here.
I know. I know. But he would have found some other weak body to take over. He would have found something.
It just doesn't. I still don't understand how he's alive. It like doesn't make sense.
We'll go.
Like, I hope it ties nicely at the end of this book.
Maybe we'll see.
Oh, great. We're going to have to go to the play to get the answer.
What the?
She just thought of everything and she keeps just
I know.
laying it out further and further.
Let's pivot because I want to come back to the Horcrux discussion in the next chapter. But do you kind of find it shocking that Mrs.
You
Weasley
started
still
it.
wants to send the kids to Hogwarts? Like she's still expecting the kids to go to Hogwarts. Would you think that Hogwarts would still be a viable place for your kids?
Ugh.
Like Dumbledore's gone,
But like, what are they learning for? I feel like it's like war.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does feel weird. Like
I think also, I mean, it's like a mom just wanting things to go back to normal.
Right. I was gonna say that's her comfort.
Yeah.
That's the routine. That's what's supposed to happen. So it's
Mm.
like just
In
go
denial.
back to, yeah. Just go back to Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's just like the routine, I guess. Yeah, that's what you said. So it's weird though, because
Are
like
the
you're
teachers going back?
yeah. What teachers are going to go back?
McGonagall would have to, I would think.
Okay.
Would she be in charge?
Who's going to be the new headmaster? Is McGonagall going to be the new headmaster?
Maybe.
Headmistress?
I would think so.
Wasn't it chosen? Isn't it chosen?
By the governors and
I
by
don't
the
even know
ministry,
who
kind
those
of.
are.
Yeah, we don't know much about the governors. They haven't been mentioned much.
But everything should be on hold right now. Like this year should just be like freeze.
Yeah. It's a COVID year.
Oh, I just thought that. And I was like, I don't know if I should say it. Say it for me.
Could anyone else be the headmaster?
Trelawney.
Oof. Yikes.
How great of a book would that be? Oh my gosh, that movie would be
The fact
so
that
good.
you just said that
Yeah.
was great.
Emma Thompson over there. But yeah, Mrs. Weasley is interesting when she's expecting them to go back to Hogwarts. And there's all sorts of funny little dialogue that happened in this chapter too. Like one of my favorite little tidbits is, "Now Ron, have you cleaned your room yet?" "Why?" exclaimed Ron, slamming his spoon down and glaring at his mother. "Why does my room have to be cleaned out? Harry and I are fine with the way it is. We are holding your brother's wedding here in a few days' time, young man." "And are they getting married in my bedroom?" asked Ron furiously.
I love that part.
That
"No.
was good.
So why in the name of Merlin's saggy left, don't talk to
Oh,
your
yeah,
mother
that
like
was
that,"
good.
said Mrs. Weasley firmly. "And do as you're told." That's such a great
Love
line.
that section.
Again, she is so good at bringing levity to like really dark situations. Because this book would be so dark and depressing otherwise, and like there's so many funny little moments in there. I love that.
That's good.
Then they have a conjecture about whether Moody is alive or not. Are we kind of confirming that we think he's dead or no? Again, you said before,
It
Danny.
seems like it, but there's no
Yeah.
evidence.
Yeah. There's no body, so we're not really sure.
And there was a lot going on, so they're like, did Bill really see it? Or was it just chaotic and he
Right.
fell? But even if he fell, that's 1,000 feet off the ground.
But he could have done a shield charm. But what I do know is she gets tricky with this writing. She might find a way. You know, like we don't want to, unless we know for sure someone's gone, we like having that little hope.
Is it possible that the Death Eaters captured him and are maybe like holding him captive, torturing him or something like that? Because if they can't find a body, is it possible that happened, or is Moody maybe just on the run?
I
Or
would
is he
think
just dead?
he'd be
It's possible.
on the run or dead, not captured.
Yeah.
I feel like he's too powerful for that.
You say anything is possible?
Yeah.
It's true. I feel like he would apparate though, but I don't know how much effort apparating takes. And then he would survive. But if he does show up,
What would his
first order of business is
plot be?
drill him with questions
Oh, yeah,
because
for sure.
polyjuice up the
Yeah.
wazoo.
Yep.
When you apparate.
So I don't know.
Oh, the pop.
Yeah, the pop.
The
He's got a
pop.
big butt.
I'm wondering what it would be like.
What does a naked Harry Potter apparate sound like on a horse?
That was a mental image. Wow.
I thought
So
you were
wait.
going to say Mad Eye Moody. I was like, I don't want to think of that one.
Woof.
Your
Um,
girlfriend, woof. That's me.
So Mad Eye has a whole stock of polyjuice, and it's only missing one ingredient: the person's DNA.
Yeah.
Right. That's weird. I didn't know that's how polyjuice was. I thought it had to be brewed with the person's DNA
Oh,
ingredient.
it's a different
Person
So it's
DNA
kind of
in.
cool
Yeah.
that they've got now a whole bunch of it
Yeah.
ready to turn into anyone.
Yeah. How do you think they're going to use that?
I don't know. But when Scrimgeour was there, they should have grabbed a hair. Being the Minister of Magic is not...
Maybe they did.
Maybe Hermione did. She's
Yeah.
smart.
She is smart.
Or they said they were nose to nose. Maybe Harry, like,
Ooh,
you know,
grabs a little
a little
something.
nose
A
hair.
nose hair.
Or there's a hair. There's like a little hair
staged
in the
afterwards.
book on the thing. But I'm trying to think of who else. Anyone else like
I feel like it
of
would be
these big
great if they
people?
could get a Death Eater's hair.
Mm.
I'm trying to think if there was any crossover with any of these people that they could get hair. Honestly, Snape's hair might not be bad. That's so greasy it all clings together.
That would be
But you go
gross.
through his
Just
office
like right
and like try and find one, maybe.
Maybe that's why he keeps it greasy. So no one can do a potion with his hair.
Ugh. Yeah, it could be.
Right?
A little gross, but
Well, like we were talking about in the last book, like you would have to actually manage your body well. Like Dumbledore, like we joked about clipping the toenails, you make sure you don't lose any of them, because if your hair is a way someone could pretend to be you, you're only getting your hair cut from trusted people, and you probably do it yourself, and you want to make sure all those hairs are gone.
Yep.
So I bet everyone takes it pretty seriously.
I don't think he cuts his hair.
Dumbledore just lets it grow.
Oh, I meant Snape.
Oh, Snape, yeah.
I mean,
He magically cuts it and then burns it or something like that.
Well, we know Charlie got a haircut,
Mhm.
but what good is it to be Charlie? No offense
poor
to
Charlie.
Charlie. He's nice. I like him, but
You can wrangle dragons. If you're
yeah,
Charlie,
unless they
that's
want to
the
go
only
out
thing.
to Romania and get some dragons.
And they find out Norbert is really Norberta.
Norberta.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was cute.
That's great.
how do you know?
I know. Yeah, they're more aggressive. They're a little more crazy. This is another line. Moving on.
That's
After that.
offensive to us.
Well, and they refer, and he
Sorry,
talked to
moving real
Mrs.
quick
Weasley
there.
like right after he said that, or he talked about his mom right after.
This is another line. What are you doing with all those books anyway? Ron asked, limping back to his bed. Just trying to decide which ones to take with us, said Hermione. When we're looking for horcruxes. Oh, of course, said Ron, clapping his hand to his forehead. I forgot we'll be hunting down Voldemort in a mobile library. Ha ha, said Hermione, looking down at Spellman's syllabary. I wonder, will we need to translate runes? It's possible. I think we better take it to be safe. So, more personal question. If you were hunting Lord Voldemort and you had to take 5 objects with you, just 5, from everything that maybe personal objects in your own life, and then on top of that, things that you've seen in the wizarding world currently, what 5 objects would you take? I mean, you have. I'll give you some lists of things. You have the map. You have
The invisibility cloak.
yeah.
You have to
yeah,
bring.
So
that'd
okay,
be
so
great.
that's
Yeah.
let's collectively come up with
yeah.
one. Invisibility cloak is
I like the
definitely one.
sneakoscope that he got.
Yeah?
I thought that
Hermione
was
gave him a
really good.
sneakoscope. That was good for her birthday.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like you.
No, I think so. I just haven't seen it work. But maybe it did.
it did. It
Yeah,
was
it was
working
working great.
on Barty
overtime.
Crouch Jr.
Yeah, they just didn't trust it.
They need to get Snape's journal on potions.
Ooh, advanced potion.
That
making.
that would be a
And
pretty
it has
good one.
all
Where
the
is that right
side-
now?
It's in Hogwarts, in the room of
Yeah.
requirement, hidden.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Harry stashed it, in
Yeah.
the one that has the crown on the top.
He should go get it.
You're so obsessed about this crown.
It just feels like a thing that could be a thing. I think. Well, that's the thing too. Jewels are important.
Yeah.
I think that could be a thing.
Yep. Well, only because I think there's a certain significance to things that Muggles would think are significant.
Yeah. Okay.
So swords and chalices and
So we have 3 items so far.
would we bring those? Why does Harry bring the Marauders map? It's a little silly.
Yeah, you're not going to be at Hogwarts. That's a little weird one, but
What about the dark magic spell book that Hermione got? Wouldn't that be good?
All her books that she-
she's got some good
So
books.
like books should be like one thing.
yeah, we'll say all the books that we have are collectively one thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that's 4 things.
We got
said?
4.
Maybe the broom, but if it's all 3 of them,
So,
can they do a magic carpet and travel together? Like,
Harry doesn't have his broom anymore.
I can show
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like I feel like they need a way of traveling all of them, either like a
Apparating.
big thestral or
Apparating.
they're just going to apparate. I feel
Doesn't
like
that
we
make
haven't
most
seen
sense?
them do it well though. Have we?
Hermione, well, not necessarily, but it's like driving when you're 18. It's like, or they're 17. I think you kind of just pick it up and you're just good at it.
And you're good at it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you don't. There's not a huge learning
not, yeah.
curve.
Yeah.
I didn't
What?
want anyone getting splinched.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that is a learning curve.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little bit.
I
But
guess-
if you're going with
It's
Hermione,
not really.
a painful
they could
learning
they
curve.
could just do side along apparition with Hermione.
Yeah, you're
we
right,
know
you're
Hermione
right.
is good at apparition, probably.
And then they'd all end up in the same place,
Yeah.
which is good. Okay.
So we're bringing a
So-
sneakoscope, invisibility cloak, books. What was the other thing?
What did I say? Oh, Snape's journal.
Oh yeah, advanced potion.
Book.
We'll
It's
lug
a
that into
book.
books. So
Oh.
give us 2 more.
Well, now I don't know.
I mean, I want this mirror to mean more than it actually does.
That's true.
Currently, it could
we
just be
saw
a way of
Dumbledore
checking out your
in
hair.
It, so
But yeah, the mirror does seem good in the way it's being written about now. But
polyjuice potion done 5.
the polyjuice is a really good thing. But
yeah,
like
that
I'm
is
saying,
great.
not the mirror because currently it's just
that
a
was
mirror.
5.
But if it wasn't for her clever writing, it would be just a broken mirror. There's got to be more. Like what else? helps you fight evil.
What
or
about,
like
does he still have that luck potion?
Liquid luck, yeah.
half of a liquid luck?
No, he doesn't have
gave
any
it
of
to
left.
them.
He gave it, yeah, they
yeah,
downed
they had
it,
to use it.
unfortunately.
But it
That's probably a
maybe
good
saved their
idea.
lives. Is there anything else that's... I'm trying to think of what the Weasleys might have around.
Let's do this. Let's lump all of the Voldemort Dumbledore objects that he gave them in his will. Let's lump those into one. The will of Albus Dumbledore. Let's take that, because there's the things in there I want to discuss when we get to that chapter. But what the heck? Why the heck did Dumbledore leave Hermione this book, Ron the Deluminator, and Harry the snitch?
It's a riddle.
Yeah, like what are they trying to figure
nice.
out? So we'll try to figure that out.
Yeah,
next
we
time.
will. We're going to
Yeah.
get it.
This time on Harry Potter, and the first time readers.
First time readers is going to get it the first time.
We'll see. I love the moment too when Harry realizes how serious they are. She goes, "Listen," said Harry. He sat straight up. Ron and Hermione looked at him with a similar mixture of resignation and defiance. "I know you said after Dumbledore's funeral that you wanted to come with me," Harry began. "Here he goes," Ron said to Hermione, rolling his eyes. "As we knew he would," she sighed, turning back to the books. "You know, I think I will take Hogwarts history, even if we're not going back there. I don't think I'd feel right if I didn't have it with." "Listen," said Harry again. "No, Harry, you listen," said Hermione. "We're coming with you, and that was decided months ago. Years, really." "But shut up," Ron advised them. And then they talk about their plans after that, when Hermione modifies her parents' memory, and Ron talks about the ghoul in pajamas. I love their dedication. I love Hermione and Ron's dedication to him. But how do you think they will fare in this hunt for Horcruxes, all three of them together?
They have to stick together.
I feel like they'll be a good team. They balance each other out really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does Ron bring to the table?
He's good at chess.
A wizard's chess. Very good at wizard's chess.
Humor.
He's I feel like he's trying to bring a little bit of humor. He's even right now like overcompensating. Maybe he realizes he might be the weak link, so he's like being very optimistic about things. He even had that moment of like really hoping that Moody was still alive, and the rest of them are like, I don't really think this is reasonable, Ron. So Ron is going to bring his optimism, maybe.
A vibe.
A vibe, yeah. Ron brings a vibe.
He's a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
What would you think? How would their partnership be with just Harry and Hermione?
They would, yeah.
It'd be dry.
It would not be
Yeah.
It would
good.
be very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So he has to go.
Yeah, he's got to go. He balances them out well.
But they also wouldn't get very far without Hermione. So,
Yeah.
What so and they talk about they want to go to Godric's Hollow, or Harry really wants to go there. What answers are going to lie in Godric's Hollow for Harry, if any? Like what is there that he's seeking besides his parents' grave?
Blood, bones.
I was like, what are you gonna say? I'll say blood. You say ancient magic. Drink.
1, 2, 3.
Harry might have a flashback.
Yeah.
Huh, if he touches like something, it might like give him a flashback or something.
I mean, maybe actually touching things. I was just thinking like the being there, the energy of the place, or I don't even know, or maybe it'd be like a connection with Voldemort since they were both there. There's got to be some ancient magic, some kind of energy, something about it. But let's assume none of that is there and it's just a place. Then I don't see what they could gain from it.
But is it
Some
empty,
clues about
or
his
someone
parents,
else
maybe?
lives there? Or-
Yeah, right. Is it like a normal home that someone else bought and they're like, what are you doing here, dude? Or is it exactly how it was left all those years ago, 16 years ago? What could be there? What could possibly be there that would help at all? And because it seems to be a known spot, wouldn't it already have been picked through by other people who know about it? Or if this whole moment was such a big deal, is it like a museum, a wizard museum, a plaque outside? This is where the boy Harry Potter defeated Voldemort or sent him away or destroyed him or whatever. So maybe it's like a place other wizards could go visit and check out and be like, whoa, this is the crazy spot where everything happened. So if that's the case, maybe Harry could learn a few things about like where he came from.
Yeah. Do you think there's a Horcrux in Godric's Hollow?
Only if Voldemort brought one there for Harry, but why wouldn't he have gone to pick it up already?
Yep.
So I don't think there would be.
And this is where they get in a long discussion. Not long, but they talk about Horcruxes for a second here. And this is one of the lines. And the more I've read about them, said Hermione, the more horrible they seem. And the less I can believe he actually made 6. It warns in this book how unstable you make the rest of your soul by ripping it. And that's just by making one Horcrux. Harry remembered what Dumbledore had said about Voldemort moving beyond the usual evil. Isn't there any way of putting yourself back together? Ron asked. Yes, said Hermione with a hollow smile. But it would be excruciatingly painful. Why? How do you do it? Added Harry. Remorse, said Hermione. You've got to really feel what you've done. There's a footnote. Apparently the pain of it can destroy you. I can't see Voldemort attempting it. Can you? Do you ever think that he would experience remorse for what he's done? It's laughable, right?
No, I can't picture it at all.
Yeah.
If he really misunderstood remorse and wanted to put a piece of him back inside to like create a new Horcrux or something, he's like, oh, let me like pull a piece back and then I'll create another Horcrux. Then I don't even think he could fake remorse.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to get remorse enough to make yourself whole again, would it even be true remorse? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So no, I just cannot picture it. Nothing about him seems to be even capable of remorse.
So they're going to be out there. We're pretty sure that Voldemort isn't going to have remorse over what he's done.
Yeah.
So Hermione says it has to be something so destructive that the Horcrux can't repair itself. Basilisk venom only has one antidote, and it's incredibly rare.
But what is the antidote? They didn't even say.
Phoenix tears.
Oh, they did say, yeah.
Literally the only thing that saved Harry. He just got
and he just happened to get the only antidote. And where is that Fang? Ron made a joke about like, when there's tons of those around, great. But that feels like the one thing they should carry around then.
The Fang.
But maybe it only had enough of the venom in it because it just broke off the basilisk. So whatever they bring with them, it has to be something to kill the Horcruxes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's step one. Like, you can find a Horcrux, sure, but if you don't have a way of destroying it, what good is it? You should probably figure out how to destroy it first and then bring that thing wherever you go.
So what object do you think they're going to come across a basilisk fang? Like what are the things? Hermione says it has to be something so destructive that it can't repair itself. Have we seen anything in the wizarding world that has been so destructive, like a basilisk fang?
Are there other magical things that are destructive or destroy themselves? Or I don't think so. It would be good writing. It would be nice if it is something we have seen before, but just didn't think to apply it that way. But what? And the only thing we thought of was the cabinet that makes things disappear.
Yeah.
But then we found out later it didn't even.
Yep.
So, is there anything else that just like gone forever? A Mount Doom.
So, because that's part of the problem. They might be able to go search for these things, but how are they going to destroy them? Did Dumbledore leave them any clues for how to destroy them? And how did Dumbledore destroy the ring?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
It was something
Yeah, did it
crazy
say?
though, because Snape had to like revive him,
Hmm.
which is also crazy. No, I don't get this whole thing. Why would he just be like, haha, I'm not gonna help you?
Yeah, that's a great question.
When he was,
Waiting for the right moment.
but if Dumbledore, I can't see this working, because if Dumbledore died, well, basically twice,
Yeah.
the ring and the locket, how the heck is Harry supposed to?
And what was Dumbledore's plan?
With what?
I don't know.
The locket?
Yeah, like
Maybe
it
the sword has power and it can slice it or something.
did kill the
The
basilisk.
Gryffindor sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That actually makes the most sense because Dumbledore wanted them to have it. And if it is magical and it's a weapon, it killed a basilisk. So maybe it also could destroy these other things.
Hmm.
But then why didn't Dumbledore try that the first time?
Yeah, because he had.
Or like bring it with him to go get the locket?
I don't know.
Are there other magical objects that destroy? You set
I'm
it down in front of the
sure.
Whomping Willow, and the Whomping Willow just whomps on it for
What
a while.
about Fox? Could the Phoenix do something?
But the Phoenix is gone.
I know, but
Interesting,
like not actually gone.
You don't think so? Oh
Drink.
yeah,
Said
drink.
interesting.
Good call.
Very interesting. I
I missed that. I forgot that.
what would happen if basilisk venom destroys a Horcrux? What would happen if Fox cried a tear on a Horcrux? Would it heal itself?
Burn it. Oh, that'd be interesting. Would it force Voldemort to feel remorse
Dang.
or reverse?
Whoa, that'd be intense. Well,
Do you think Fox is going to come back in the story at all?
Yes.
I kind of don't think so.
Why? The wands have a connection to Fox.
So Fox
it's
is
true.
always here. It's true. Well, no, I just didn't think so because it felt kind of final. Like the Fox was so connected. That Fox was so connected to Dumbledore that when Dumbledore died, it almost gave me the idea that Fox was flying off to die as well. Because otherwise the Phoenix would never die, right? It just always is reborn. So something about it just felt like
That seemed like a waste. of
Fox
it.
bonded with Dumbledore and that was it.
Yeah.
But then Harry too. But then why isn't Fox here right now? Or
Yeah.
maybe Fox
He
is
needs
flying
to
high,
go
looking
away.
down.
Maybe
Like, do
he
you-
knows.
Yeah. Do you think that Fox could destroy a Horcrux? Do you think that another creature that we know is you think like a Dementor could destroy it?
I
Do
don't
you-
think a Dementor could because it's so like feelings
Yeah.
based. And according to this, you have to destroy the container.
But what
It's
if a
enchanted body. But could a Phoenix do it if
What
the
about
Phoenix
a
is getting
unicorn?
destroyed by fire and being reborn?
even
destroy
with the
the
Dementor,
Horcrux?
what about a Dementor's kiss? What does it do?
It sucks its soul out.
So could that
Sucks the soul.
potentially work with a Horcrux?
And then become a Dementor, though? Like, it feels like it's in the same realm.
Yeah.
But it almost feels more powerful than a Dementor in terms of its evilness. And because it's made by splitting a soul, I feel like a Dementor wouldn't even be attracted to it. It's a broken piece of a soul.
Yeah.
And it's made by so much like hatred and evil to kill that I feel like the Dementors are feeding on happy memories, not demented
What about
memories
the
of
Ministry
murder.
of Magic, the floor where there was all those things that they went through, the kids? Like,
Yeah, anything in there? That's a good
the
thought.
archway.
Whoa, you throw
Oh,
it
yeah.
through the archway.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If Sirius went through the archway and he died, maybe, but it's an object, but it's also a soul. That's a really good idea. Chuck it through the archway and it's dead forever.
Maybe. There's got to be something else. There were other things there, though.
Yeah, there were the
Um,
brain things.
Have any of the trio used a unforgivable curse?
No.
Harry tried.
He tried and it didn't work. He tried to use Crucio on Bellatrix. Do you think that Avada Kedavra could work on a Horcrux? And do you think that any of the trio would actually use Avada Kedavra ever?
I feel like they could say it, but I don't know if it would actually work.
I think they
Which
would.
means-
Only to save one of the other ones.
Hmm.
Because Harry didn't already. He had chances.
Yeah.
And he's trying to use Expelliarmus. So he clearly is having trouble. But I think he would by the end if things got that dire and he needed to save his friends. But I don't think it would work on a Horcrux. Because it doesn't kill a container. So it feels, again, like it's this... You need like a
What was-
magical thing.
What was the unicorn blood again? It was like it lets you
Yeah.
live longer,
It's another
but there was a
creature.
curse with it too.
Yeah, if you drink its blood, to kill something so pure, it gives you a cursed life. If you drink its blood, it'll keep you alive even if you're on the edge of death. But it costs you like you're gonna live a half life because of it. So
He
dropping
drank so much of it.
yeah, a lot of half lives. He's like a one.
Only because Hagrid said something
Hundredth of
about
life.
unicorns. Like he's like, I got more unicorns or
Baby
something.
unicorns.
Yeah. Yep. Baby
So it
unicorns.
made me
are
think
not-
of something.
And you remember what color baby unicorns are?
Brown,
You're
gold.
Gold. Yeah.
Nice.
They're gold.
And they go silver, and then they go white. Pretty cute.
That must be cute.
Can you stab things with a unicorn horn?
Yeah.
It's like a basilisk fang,
Right.
except magical good
Maybe
instead
they're
of
on your
magical bad.
side, though, right? I was just thinking all the creatures of Hagrid and all of them, they like battle with Voldemort.
Does
The
Aragog have
unicorn.
venom?
He did, because what's his name took
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
So where is that?
Acromantula venom is
Ah.
exceptionally rare.
Could that also have Horcrux killing power?
Ooh.
Wait, who took it again?
Slughorn.
Yeah.
Slughorn.
I couldn't.
He
I
sold
don't
it
know
on the black
names.
market.
So interesting. They could go to the black market and look for things like that.
Yeah.
But maybe Borgin and Burks would have something else, or maybe basilisk fangs can also be purchased.
What about
For a
like
price.
dark magic on a dark object?
But like what magic?
Snape's slicing thing.
Ooh, Sectum Sempra on it.
Yeah. I wonder.
It's worth a try.
Yeah.
Because he needed dark magic to heal it.
It still doesn't feel quite right. But I feel like whenever they find a Horcrux, try
But
all
I
their
also
magic
think
like
that
crazy
he probably
on it.
has something written in the journal. What about a potion? They can make potions
Like
and sink
brew a
them
thing.
in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and like stir it in. But like,
That
but
would
what
be
potion
good.
though?
Well, it would be in
Love
Snape's
potion.
journal.
Love
God.
Slughorn says it's the
to
most dangerous potion in the
balance
room.
out
Yeah, right?
the
The killing. You got to throw a little
Oh
love
yeah,
in there.
that was the whole thing with the mom. My theory with Voldemort's mom and the love potion
yeah.
backfired on her.
It says the bit of the soul inside it can flit in and out of someone if they get too close to the
Yeah.
object. And I don't mean holding it for too long, nothing to do with touching it, but emotionally close. So it does still feel like there's a chance of a Horcrux already having a victim, so to speak. Like, is it possible that a Horcrux has already been close to somebody enough that emotionally that someone might be under influence
Like,
from a
is-
Horcrux without realizing it?
Is R.A.B.
If he's been hanging
I
on to
know,
this
that's what I
thing, this
thought.
locket,
Yeah.
accidentally getting emotionally close to it,
Wormtail.
what would his
I don't know. He's just a
Horcrux be?
pain.
Yeah, we just
want
hate him.
dead. We just don't like
But
Wormtail.
he has like one of those robotic arms now too.
So do you think, so if they find a Horcrux, do you think that one of them would all of them maybe would become possessed by this Horcrux at all?
I don't think so.
But they're not able to destroy it. They don't know what is. So
Right,
if
right.
they're holding on to a Horcrux for a while, do you think that they would be more susceptible to something like that?
Yeah, potentially. But I think Hermione is smart, and she's the one reading this, and she says, I mean close emotionally. Ginny poured her heart
Yeah.
out into that
Yeah.
diary and made herself incredibly vulnerable. You're in trouble if you get too fond of or dependent on the Horcrux. Fond of. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Fond of, because that, again, like Lord of the
It's
Rings
like the Ring of
references.
Power,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's like becoming fond of a thing that has
That should've been
value.
one.
And maybe that was part of Voldemort's plan, actually, because he picked objects that people would naturally be fond of. Like, they're objects that already have, like, magical and muggle appeal. So it is very possible that someone would become fond of a Horcrux without realizing that they were opening up themselves to some kind of emotional vulnerability.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Horcruxes already had a little victim involved.
Mm.
I'm not understanding though is that it's saying it's really hard for them to put back their soul together. They would
Yeah.
need remorse. So it sounds like to me all you have to do is kill Voldemort and his being now, and he would not be able to put together his souls to create another whole self of him.
But
No.
he would still be 6 parts, or
Yeah.
however many parts are left.
So those 6 parts would have to make one whole. So even right now, Voldemort in his person isn't whole. He's a 6th of himself, or a 7th of himself, or a 5th, or however many Horcruxes
So,
you think there are.
but tell me, all right, so we kill Voldemort and his being right now.
Yeah.
In theory, with all the stuff we have, what happens to him?
He would, the same thing that happened to him when he was just when the killing curse rebounded off of that. He would his
Oh, he goes
like a
back
part
to
of his
nothing.
soul, yeah, like another whoever has these objects could like reawaken, like the Malfoys had the diary. I guess they didn't necessarily know what it was, but Voldemort could possess that diary and then return again because there's a part of him in that. So he can
No one
kinda, like,
knows about
reanimate
these
himself.
Horcruxes though.
Yeah, no one knows about
Which
him.
is probably why Dumbledore didn't want anyone to know either.
Yeah.
Because it could be the same thing. And maybe this time he doesn't get so lucky
Yeah.
to find a host.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then even if they could destroy him, they could then hunt down his Horcruxes in secret for a while, and none of his followers would know that he's still alive.
I feel like
potentially.
that's a better route. Let's kill him now instead of hunting the Horcruxes. And
But
then
Yeah, but they don't
failure.
know that it would
Yeah.
even work though, and so they get to weaken him by doing the Horcruxes. It seems.
The thing is, doesn't he feel that?
And that's a great question. Why
don't
wouldn't
know.
he feel that?
It didn't feel like there was a connection with the diary. The diary felt like its own separate
But
thing.
he wasn't really a person yet.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I guess we have to just wonder, like, how separate are these pieces of his soul? Are they connected like Harry and Voldemort are connected? Because Harry knows when Voldemort's angry. So is it that same connection?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's
amongst
his
these
actual
pieces?
soul, it's not just a piece of him.
Yeah, maybe.
So then I feel like he'd be more angry with them or know where they are. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they have enough information to be doing this stuff.
And like some people are saying even on chat too, because this is something that is like almost theoretical, but some people are even saying that the Horcruxes are they like tether his soul to this earth. So in his being right now, he's not necessarily whole again because he's split, but he still has power. But these other things keep him. They give him the ability to still rise again. They're like little anchor points, like almost like respawn.
Yeah, that makes
points,
sense.
kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a better way of thinking about it than.
But
like,
it took him forever to do it once.
yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. That's my own.
But he was also still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And
now
I think,
it'd be faster. You think?
and now how many people have actually come back? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's now figured out more than anyone else. He had already gone, according to him, farther along the path to immortality.
Yep.
So now it feels like he put in more of these anchor points potentially, or just understands them a little better.
You
And
think
if
he
he
has
knew
more
his
than
path,
7 now?
I don't think, because I think he loves the magical number
Oh yeah,
of 7 parts.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's more, but he still might not know that it was split. Or maybe he kept distance from his own anchor points, his own Horcruxes, because it might accidentally give away where they are.
Yeah.
And he wants to keep them a secret. So he purposefully is keeping like a distance. But I don't know. Because I don't know how this whole tracking thing works. Like Harry, he's young and he was being tracked. So then is there any part of that like Voldemort knows certain things are trackable, so he has to keep distance from pieces of himself? I don't know. But yeah, it feels weird and kind of wild that they don't know how to destroy them.
Yeah. Like how did Dumbledore destroy this ring?
He was in the house, right? Maybe there was something in the house.
But it wasn't destroyed in the house though.
I thought it was.
No, we don't know where he went. He could have stayed in the house. It could have been something else. He could have just tried casting spells on it.
Like exploded the house.
I think that was the protection that was surrounding the ring, but I don't think it was the ring itself.
Okay. I don't know, but Harry should ask.
I know. That's the running gag of this is like, why didn't Harry ask him?
But the thing is,
Any
he
of these
did
questions.
try, but Dumbledore kept saying later.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's
Yeah,
not really
for some of
Harry's
it, yeah.
fault.
Because Harry was even literally asking, what's the deal with your hand?
He's like,
Yeah.
not
And that
now.
right there might have told the story.
Yeah,
And
I
been
know.
like, oh, well, this is what it is. I tried to destroy the Horcrux by doing this. It worked. Try it
I
later.
know.
Or it didn't work. Here's what I'll do next time.
It's a great point.
But
It's a great point.
Dumbledore wasn't ready. Or maybe Harry wasn't ready.
Oh, J.K. Rowling didn't want us to know. That's what annoys
Are
me.
there enough
She's
little
out to get us.
context clues in there that we should know? Let's go into the
There
Will of
is
Albus
not
Dumbledore,
enough
chapter
context clue.
7. Give me a quick summary of this one.
Oh, you know what's interesting before we move on? Sorry, Jen. I know you have bedtime. When Floor's mom comes in, she glided forward, stooped to kiss Mrs. Weasley, and then she says, Enchanté, but it's in italics. And I thought, is that a spell? Did she just do a spell on Mrs. Weasley to be charming? A little Vila spell? And we think of it as just being French, but it does feel funny because it's written in italics in the same look of all spells. I thought, I wonder if she just did a little "you're gonna like me" spell. You are enchanted by me.
Because she kind of liked her after that. I'm sure she probably had mixed feelings before it, but.
So yeah. Anyways,
so are we watching out for Miss Delacour over here? Is she like a little temptress?
It does seem that way, at least slightly. She uses it to her advantage. I was cautious about those tent setting up people because they were letting in strangers, but nothing came of it, even though I'm still cautious about it because they were strangers and why'd they let them in? And they named them Millimant's Magic Marquise. Don't be bringing marquise in here. You just set up your own marquee. You don't bring in Millimant. We don't know anything about Millimant. Anyways.
Dude,
all right.
Me and you need to have a side podcast.
Oh,
we'll just do this online.
Excuse me.
And no, we'll do all the details. It'll be a 14-hour long podcast of me and Danny just going word by word in this book.
So stinking slow. All right, sorry, Jen. Now
I don't want to be a part of that one.
Yep.
I'm
You guys
sparing
can have it.
that. All right.
And then I'll talk
Lord
about
of
Lord of the
Dumbledore.
Rings every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Remember that scene? All right, Danny, go.
Oh, yeah, the summary. What happened in this chapter? So this chapter is where the will of Dumbledore is read by Scrimgeour to the three. And that's mid-chapter, but it's Harry's birthday today. So friends come like Hagrid, Lupin, and Tonks. Mr. Weasley ends up bringing Scrimgeour last minute because he's going to do the will reading.
What was his Patronus? A hedgehog or
A
something?
weasel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on, Jen.
Oh, for Weasley? How cute.
Yep.
It's so cute.
Yeah, so then by
There's
the end of this
somewhere.
chapter, the second half of the chapter is pretty much just wondering what they're going to do with the snitch, the put outer, and the tales of Beetle the Bard that they received from Dumbledore in his will.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm saying put outer, but the chapter never calls it that.
Yeah.
It feels like she regretted calling it something so simple.
Yeah. Most
And
people say that, yeah.
It is funny that was one of the first things we like made fun of lightly at the beginning of the first book. We're like, I
called
think
the
I said the
put-outer.
naming committee could do a little extra work
Oh,
on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
So it was funny that they came up with a better name for it.
Wait, what is it called now?
A Deluminator.
Deluminator.
Cool name.
Yeah, cool name. I still wouldn't have minded a little throwback to put outer, at least
Yeah.
into like its
Yeah.
casual street name. But
Yeah.
if there's only one of them,
That's what
Wait a
they're
minute, yeah.
slinging these days, huh?
that's what they're slinging. So yeah, I mean that's this chapter. It's
It's an action-packed chapter.
it's kind of
a good one.
meaty. Yeah, it was
Or
cool.
Maybe not action-packed, but yeah. Meaty
Oh,
chapter
you
is
forgot the hot tamale scene.
better. Ooh, with Ginny
Oh
and Harry.
man,
Oh
Harry
my
and Ginny,
gosh.
things got spicy.
I know, Ron's
I
spoiling
got
the
to
mood
see
right
it
there.
Come on, Ron. But honestly, it was pretty noble when Ron
Yeah.
interrupted. But at
Yeah.
first, I was like, dude, what the? Chill.
Ginny's like, here's your birthday present.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Something you'll remember me.
Yeah.
forever.
And the chapter started with
Yeah.
Harry
this-
having a little dream vision Valdi
Yeah.
connection, which was kind of huge.
He was walking along a mountain road in the cool blue light of dawn. Far below, swathed in mist, was a shadow of a small town. It was the man he sought down there. The man he needed so badly he could think of little else. The man who held the answer to his problem. What's going on?
The wand problem.
We know exactly what's going on now.
Time out. Wait,
I'm
what?
confused.
What, Jen?
You said the wand problem. There are so many, not so many. There are some subtle references to.
Yep, I
sexual
underlined at least
innuendos
one of
this
them in
chapel.
here.
Ron goes, "It's not all about wand work."
Yeah, as he's talking about the book of how to woo women.
goes,
Yeah, how to woo
Oh,
witches.
I didn't even.
And he's like, it's
catch
not just
that.
about wand work. That was so funny.
So what is this beginning little story though?
Well, we know that it would, assuming it's happening at the same time, and Harry mentioned the sun had not even risen yet, but here it's already the dawn blue light. We know that Voldemort is either north or east of Harry's location. Because it seems like he's already in the dawn, like sun has risen. So he could be out.
Said flash. It's always live.
I think it's always live. Like when he saved Mr. Weasley and all that stuff. It feels to be pretty much live, except for when Voldemort was interfering and you know. But we know Gregorovich.
How do we know him?
Crumb's wand maker.
Oh, wow.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Did you have to look that up, or did you just know that?
Oh, I knew that. Come on now.
Of course.
And I only know it because we brought it up on one other podcast, and I said, "What's that other wand maker?" I was like, "What?" And then John, you were like, "Oh, I know it, and you thought real hard and you got it, but then it was locked in.
Yeah.
So Ollivander, when he
Ollivander.
was doing the wand stuff for Crumb and
Because
Floor,
I clearly know the name Gregorovich because of this chapter, and I was like, "Oh, you know what's
oh,
the name?"
you were wow. Well, you did a pretty good job, but either way, I was gonna look it up at that point because it was fresh. But yeah, so Gregorovich is the wand maker that Ollivander
His
knew.
rival wand maker.
Yep, he's like, oh, Gregorovich. And I forget if Ollivander said something negative about him or just was kind of like, yeah, he's decent.
He just uses different methods than Ollivander does.
So it just confirms
my gosh,
for
now
us.
He's going to wherever they're located.
Yeah, so, and we
Isn't
assume
that
Crumb
north?
is also often, this could be a Bulgaria thing, but he's from Durmstrang, so it could be something up near school. So point being, it confirms easily the north or east way.
Yeah, but how come they don't have you to tell them?
What?
In this
Oh,
chapter
yeah,
right
Ron,
now?
Harry, and Hermione. But Harry kind of
Well,
knows.
he's like, it sounds
I've
familiar.
heard this before. It sounds familiar.
But it is partly Quidditch.
It is, and that's close. And Harry's going to remember at some point, I hope. Maybe they'll be
'Cause
telling stories
They
of
did
the old
talk about
days.
that for a while when they were getting their wands inspected and stuff too.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
the
And
Tri-Wizard. So it will.
it was a thing.
Yeah.
But only Harry was there. Nobody else. Actually, wait. Mrs. Weasley was there and Bill.
They weren't there at the weighing of the wand ceremony, though.
They didn't come in
Or
yet.
not the weighing. Yeah, just
That was only
weighing
the
of
day
wand
before
thing.
the ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay, so only Harry. Harry's the only one that we trust who's still alive, who could say that. But also,
But then he has got good information because obviously he has Ollivander and this guy.
oh yeah, Voldemort. If he actually finds Gregorovich, then we're in trouble because
He's gonna find him.
he's gonna have a lot of wand heft to figure out what to do. But then I still don't get it. Voldemort is chalking all of this battle up to his wands and saying, Harry's got a better wand. I can't beat him with my wands.
It's
so
not necessarily
I
even a
need
better
something
wand.
more.
It's just he's trying to figure out a way around the wand problem. I don't know if it's the better or worse.
But the thing is, he's tried other wands and they're not working.
I know. That's
Yeah.
why it's so weird, even with Lucius' wand and the other Death Eater that he asked for the wand. So something about it feels strange, but Voldemort is
Something.
convinced it's a wand thing. So, Voldemort's got wand issues. Wand dysfunction, you might say.
Well, what is the solution to his wand dysfunction going to be?
Another guy.
What the? Oh, boy.
He's looking for another man to help him.
Oh, I know, Jen. I think is there anything more he can do? He might say, Gregorovich, make me another wand. Use a different thing,
your
like a custom
ingredients.
thing. Yeah,
Okay.
can you add better ingredients? I need better stuff. But what would the better stuff even be? Could he use the parts of other broken wands
Doesn't he-
and say, here's
Well,
a piece of Lucius's wand
They
and this
used
one?
Vila something, right?
Yeah, Flora's wand has a little
But
Vila hair
is
in
that
it.
not with
But
her?
Ollivander said it's too temperamental.
Too temperamental.
Yeah,
but
but that would
Voldemort's
be-
pretty temperamental.
Yeah. Gregorovich might disagree.
Oh,
And
that's a good point.
That's how the wedding is gonna get disrupted. Don't.
And I'm just thinking, if each of the ingredients has to be better, could you find a more powerful dragon, which is bigger heartstrings, or an older, wiser
What about
unicorn
the-
that's been wandering the forests,
Female.
or Floor's mom, pretty killer Vila?
No, it's for grandma. It was her grandma's hair.
Oh, her grandma's hair. Oh, that's cool. I forgot about that.
Okay.
But the point is, if you can use some of these things or find another phoenix somewhere,
So
or a piece of Nagini or something else.
That's why we think older wands are probably a bit stronger though, because these
Where's Dumbledore's wand? We said it
might have been
with
buried
him?
with him.
yeah.
But we don't
I
know.
think we said it was probably buried with him. I don't know if we know. But these creatures, they
You know yourself
die, except for
telling us.
phoenixes, I guess. But kind of maybe that's a little different one. That's a tougher one. So yeah, where is Dumbledore's wand? That's an interesting question. I guess they buried it with him. Interesting. But I think the wand, maybe a longer lasting wand.
Wow.
Just has more power to it.
Okay, this is hard.
Sorry. Or a older one.
Kristen, you're missing all of this.
I know.
So true.
Let's leave over there. All right. Well,
They're just laughing their heads off over here.
there's a lot of
It's
innuendos.
unavoidable.
Yeah, it's unavoidable.
Double
innuendos.
entendres all
Yeah.
over the place.
Pass it on to them.
I guess so. That's so
Sorry.
funny.
I should probably sit up.
So yeah, what do you think that he's gonna? What is the solution that Gregorovich has that Ollivander doesn't have?
He might just be more cooperative with Voldemort. Ollivander might know this stuff, and he might just be good and trying to protect Harry. But maybe Gregorovich could be pressured in different ways, or has different methods, or is just willing to do what Voldemort asks.
Kristen comes back.
And here we go.
Everyone
Drink again.
Drink up.
That's right. Never mind.
I contribute nothing to this podcast.
That's why if we put a yeah, you were right. If we put a little bit of like liquid luck in you, you're out.
Yep.
Gotta get you some
Nailed
strong
it.
coffee.
Sorry, Danny. You were.
Oh no, we weren't saying anything. We were just
were
making
talking
endless
about
jokes about
wands.
Voldemort.
Yeah. A lot of wand innuendos.
Oh, that was the innuendo.
Yep. Wand needs Voldemort needs a firmer wand, an older wand.
That can last
well then.
longer.
Yeah, a wand that can last longer. After this section, so we'll keep thinking about this. But after this, Harry turns 17. He wakes up and he's able to use magic. Do you guys have maybe like I remember the first time I drove on my own when I had my license. It was one of the most memorable experiences. Like flying down my road, it just felt like the absolute feeling of freedom. Do you guys have like a similar story, like getting your license, or like when you turned 18 or 21 that you had like, this is so cool, and it was just like a revelatory thing? Putting you on the spot.
Like a freeing moment?
Not necessarily a freeing moment, but like, oh, I get to do this now. Like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm thinking of like when I got my motorcycle, the feeling of riding it for the first time, like that feeling, that thrill, that excitement. But it wasn't like the same as coming of age.
Yeah.
But it felt similar because I got the bike before I got the license. So then once I got the license, I could go home and
nice.
drive it. So it still felt freeing. But I remember driving for the first time and really loving that. But it wasn't the same. But if you get your pilot's license, John,
I know.
then we're all going to go for a
slowly chipping
sweet
away at
ride.
that. I know.
Oh, wait, where did you drive on your first adventure?
Where did I drive? It
Yeah.
was to school because I just
Oh,
got
nice.
it. I skipped the first hour of school.
Yeah.
And then I went home, got it. My parents were like, "You sure we can just drop you off at school and pick you up again?" Like, no problem. I'm like, "No way! I just got my license." So I went home and I remember zipping down my road. Like,
Yes.
it was just the best feeling ever. It was so great.
I don't think I have anything.
No moment like
Nada.
that.
But I am picturing John getting his airplane license and being outside of the plane with a broom.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
such
like
a
that
funny
Instagram
thing. That
thing,
was
yeah.
so funny.
It's so loud.
You should make the airplane a big broom. That would be so.
You guys
sweet.
have to watch our
Yeah, and
stories
follow us
on Instagram.
Follow us on
Yes.
Instagram for our stories for some of these inside jokes.
I kind of missed it when Harry started doing magic. It didn't even faze me at
Yeah.
all. And then I was like, oh, well, he can like. That's why he's going crazy.
Yeah.
He's like flexing this new muscle. He's having fun.
Yeah, that's
doing
gotta be
magic.
cool. You can do magic wherever you want.
You missed that?
I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like when he did like with his glasses, and then he tied his shoes, and it was like all in knots. And then I was like, what's the deal? And then it clicked, and I was like, oh, because it said he even changed the color on Ron's poster, and then
Yeah.
that's when it clicked.
He was like so excited.
Yeah, which is cool.
So many people are putting weird innuendos in chat.
I bet they are.
Oh boy.
I do not doubt it for a second.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. It's not
Yep.
the size of the wand, it's the motion of the spell casting. Anyway, on a different note,
Classic.
Ron says, this isn't your average book. It's pure gold. 12 fail-safe ways to charm witches. Explains everything you need to know about girls. If only I'd had this a year earlier, I'd have known exactly how to get rid of Lavender, and I would have known how to get going with, well, Fred and George gave me a copy. I've learned a lot. You'd be surprised. It's not all about wand work either.
Yep.
And then this is another line that this is one of my favorites in literally the entire series. Harry sat down, took the square parcel she had indicated, and unwrapped it. Inside was a watch, very like the one Mr. and Mrs. Weasley had given Ron for his 17th. It was gold, with stars circling around the face instead of hands. It's traditional to give a wizard a watch when he comes of age, said Mrs. Weasley, watching him anxiously from beside the cooker. I'm afraid that one isn't new like Ron's. It was actually my brother Fabian's, and he wasn't terribly careful with his possessions. It's a bit dented on the back, but the rest of her speech was lost. Harry had got up and hugged her. He tried to put a lot of unsaid things into the hug, and perhaps she understood them, because she patted his cheek clumsily when he released her, then waved her wand in a slight random way, causing a half pack of bacon to flop out in the frying pan onto the floor. I love that Mrs. Weasley gives him this. And do you know who her brother is? Fabian.
Yeah. He was a member of the Order.
Yeah.
That was mentioned. I think Moody had mentioned it when he showed the picture of the old Order. If I remember correctly, he's a twin.
Yeah.
And Fabian and his brother.
Fabian
Why
and
you give me
Gideon.
that look, Kristen?
I know this is
a little
remarkable
ridiculous.
how you remember.
I know it's a little
this. This is
ridiculous,
incredible.
but
He takes notes though, and that makes it
I actually
easier
didn't-
to
It's amazing
remember.
your
I actually
memory. I
didn't
can't
consult my
remember what I
notes
did
for this,
5
but
minutes
because I
ago.
took them, it probably registered
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they died in like some kind of epic way in the battles, but I forget exactly how.
took
It was like
5 Death
five,
Eaters
right?
to bring them down. Moody says they fought like heroes.
Pretty epic.
Mm. So she's used to this,
Yeah.
Mrs. Weasley.
But it's, to me, it's so beautiful that she's been holding on to this watch for years. This is like her brother's, her brother who died.
Was
Molly-
this on him when he died?
Yeah. She probably might have taken it off of him, and she's giving this to Harry, which is just
He
so
needs
memorable.
something like that. Though. He's going into battle just like
Yeah.
they were.
And what is Molly's maiden name?
Pruitt.
Pruitt. Do we know any other Pruitts?
Yeah, Maddie Pruitt.
Like, I don't know this person.
You know who I'm talking about.
Is that The Bachelor?
Yeah,
Maddie Pruitt. That's right.
She was on The Bachelor.
She was a
How
really
do you
popular.
know
I should
this?
know it then. But
Basketball.
That's
She's
right. Yeah.
Date with the pilot. Oh, the pilot. Okay. She's married now, so sorry,
respect.
sorry guys. Well, only one guy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think it's possible this watch was also given to Fabian as his coming of age present.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious what the stars mean, if they do anything. Again, this Muggle connection of it's gold. It's something that has value. It has like movement in it. I mean, I like watches. So I remember even when the twins were, one of them, I think it was Fred or maybe it was George, had a gold watch when playing Quidditch. So again, this like idea of them having like a nice watch that almost feels funny because it's a Muggle thing. So will this watch have a power or something significant later? I'm not saying it's a Horcrux or anything, but
you imagine? She's putting a Horcrux on Harry's wrist right at this moment.
But if it was 5 Death Eaters, but Voldemort wasn't one of them, then it probably couldn't be.
I mean, you thought there was a Horcrux in the burrow, right?
Ooh, I forgot I said that. Is there anything else in the burrow that could be a Horcrux? We kind of explored the whole burrow in all of this. So I don't think so.
But it is regardless.
It's a
of what,
cool gift.
Yeah.
And I love that line. He tried to put a lot
Yeah.
of unsaid things into the hug.
Yep.
Like that just like, oh, it's so great. Because
Molly
it
is
sums up
incredible.
that feeling of like,
Yeah.
or like, you don't have the words for it, but you just have a lot of emotion and you just want the person to understand
Yeah.
how important they are, but you don't know how to say it. And a hug can say all those things. So,
Just a beautiful moment.
yep.
And like Molly giving this to Harry is just another beautiful moment for her as well. She's great. She's so great. But what is happening between is all good on the Lupin Tonks front.
No.
Although Lupin
Something
smiled
seems-
as he shook Harry's hand, Harry thought he looked rather unhappy. It was all very odd. Tonks beside him looked simply radiant.
That's why it's so
I
weird.
thought she was pregnant.
Whoa.
Looking radiant. She's glowing. But
Interesting.
why is Lupin upset about it?
Because
Because
he
he's
didn't
worried
want
if they're
another
gonna be-
werewolf,
They're gonna be
like,
cubs.
mix.
Wolf pups.
Yeah.
That's what Voldemort
That is a
says, right?
great thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I thought.
She could be
immediately.
pregnant. Interesting.
I like that theory way better than mine.
What was your
Wait, what
theory?
was yours?
Oh, that he was going to be the next headmaster, and he was not happy about it, the weight and responsibility. But Tonks is very proud.
Oh,
Um,
I like Jen's theory.
I like it way better that they're pregnant. That's great.
Women's intuition there.
I don't know. It's like they always say that, right? Glowing, but you can't use glowing.
Yeah.
They do say that.
But both of them leave immediately when the ferret, not the
Yeah.
ferret, the Weasley comes, the weasel
The
comes,
ferret.
and says, "Get out of here because the Minister of Magic's coming." So Rufus Scrimgeour comes, and
But why would that look bad? I don't. Because then it looks like they are the Order of the Phoenix there. Like, why would it be bad if they were there if they're friends with Harry?
I don't know.
That's what I don't get.
it's interesting.
Maybe Lupin's been through some stuff. Like there could be more like racism going on. I mean, they're like Greyback and all of his people. They've been doing bad stuff. So
Danny's
would-
favorite lady still works, right?
Wait, who?
Danny, you're a favorite lady.
Oh, yeah. It's so true. Umbridge.
Because he shows the little
Yep.
scar, and she hates anything half-breed.
Yep.
So maybe that's why Lupin's
And
like running
Scrimgeour
away.
is just like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anti-Umbridge. It could be true. And so, well, because she's my aunt, because I always defend her.
Oh, I thought
And,
you said like anti.
No.
I was like,
Oh, I
it
thought
sounds
that
like,
too.
yeah.
Wait, what did you mean?
Same wavelength. Oh, like my aunt. You know,
Oh.
good old
Yeah.
Auntie
Oh, see,
Dolores.
look.
I thought you were I don't know, words again.
Yep.
A little too much Fireball, a little too little sleep.
No, I don't know. Poor Lupin. I don't like when he's upset anyway, because he in general seems like a pretty positive person.
Yeah.
He's very encouraging, at least to Harry. So to see him stressed kind of stinks. And he should be happy. He should be psyched.
Yeah, right? Especially if his wife's pregnant.
And if Tonks is
or he's going to become headmaster.
all excited, then what's
Yeah.
the deal?
I know.
But it's a weird world to bring kids into. So if that's what's going down, I could understand his worry, I guess, but don't worry in public. You know what I mean? He's with Harry, celebrate the birthday, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Live in the moment.
is there any other reason he wouldn't be down with Scrimgeour? None that I can think of.
Yeah.
I'm glad you answered your own question.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just at odds with each other. Scrimgeour does seem along the lines of Umbridge's thought of not liking half-breeds, of trying to eliminate these kind of people.
True.
But he unravels this parchment, which is the will of Albus Dumbledore. And these are a few lines. He says, "That law was created to stop wizards passing on dark artifacts," said Hermione. "And the ministry is supposed to have powerful evidence that the deceased's possessions are illegal before seizing them. Are you telling me that you thought Dumbledore was trying to pass us something cursed? Are you planning to follow a career in magical law, Miss Granger?" asked Scrimgeour. Do you actually think that that he thinks Dumbledore is slightly evil or he's passing off something cursed? Like, what was the real reason why
I don't
they're
think so.
holding on to this?
I think they wanted to see what he was up to because they couldn't figure out. Because they don't even really know about the Order of the Phoenix fully, right?
Yeah.
So I think this was their way of trying to figure that out.
A bit nosy.
And they know Dumbledore has been right about everything. About like Voldemort coming back and all of this stuff. So I think they're actually giving Dumbledore a lot of credit. They just want to know what's up, and they don't like that these kids are making decisions. So yeah, they wanted to figure out if they could learn anything. It makes sense. I mean, it's just weird.
So these are the objects that he gives too. We'll go over these. However, Scrimgeour did not seem to be listening. He put his hand inside his cloak and drew out a drawstring pouch much larger than the one Hagrid had given Harry. From it, he removed a scroll of parchment, which he unrolled and read aloud. The last will and testament of Albus, Percival, Wulfric, Brian, Dumbledore. Yes, here we are. To Ronald Bilious Weasley, I leave my Deluminator, in the hopes that he will remember me when he uses it. Scrimgeour took from the bag an object that Harry had seen before. It looked something like a silver cigarette lighter, but it had, he knew, the power to suck all the light from a place and restore it, with a simple click. Scrimgeour leaned forward and passed the Deluminator to Ron, who took it and turned it over in his fingers, looking stunned. That is a valuable object, said Scrimgeour, watching Ron. It may even be unique. Certainly, it is of Dumbledore's own design. Why would he have left you an item so rare? So why did he leave Ron the Deluminator?
So he can use it.
Fair point.
That's coming up with all the good points right now. All right, next one.
It feels like it has to be part of this big riddle. Has to be
Yeah.
more. So he says, in the hope that he will remember me when he uses it.
I know. I was trying to think of that.
So if Ron's using it, but remembering Dumbledore, is there a time where it's going to be darkness and he has to think of Dumbledore? Or a time where he's going to put all the lights back and then think of Dumbledore? But like, how does that help in some riddle scenario, some Horcrux situation?
Maybe you remember Dumbledore while you turn the lights off and he appears in the mirror.
I was thinking the mirror, is this like trying to send a message to Harry but indirectly? Like,
what was it? Is that on the snitch again? Something a little close.
when it closes?
I open
Yeah.
it to close. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah,
In a
so
bit.
could
In
all
like-
of
in
these
like 20
messages
minutes,
be
30
to
minutes?
each other? Do they all work together? Do the three of them have to work together in order to use their
I feel
different
like,
riddly
yeah,
things?
because he kept saying it was also interesting because Harry, he said tell them. Remember Dumbledore said to tell his friends about everything that's going
Yeah,
on.
you're right,
And
you're
now
right, he
he's
did.
giving them these things, these items to use together.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Dumbledore
he was,
was
like,
very
already
specific.
setting it up for
Yeah.
them to like work together.
Because this was the next thing that happened, the next object he gave. To Miss Hermione Jean Granger, I leave my copies of the Tales of Beedle the Bard in the hopes that she will find it entertaining and instructive. Scrimgeour now pulled out a bag, a small book that looked as ancient as the copy of Secrets of the Darkest Arts upstairs. Its binding was stained and peeling in places. Hermione took it from Scrimgeour without a word. She held the book in her lap and gazed at it. Harry saw that the title was in runes. He had never learned to read them. As he looked, a tear splashed onto the embossed symbols. Why do you think Dumbledore left you that book, Miss Granger? Asked Scrimgeour.
Or could it be like they have to use that light for the book?
Interesting, yeah.
Like maybe there's something instructions in the book, and Ron has to use the thing to turn the lights off, and then the snitch thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't look at the snitch in the dark already, but I imagined all of this stuff as having to take place somewhere else.
Yeah, me
Like
too,
they
but-
can't just like come up with some magical thing here, but they're going to get somewhere and it's all going to click. Like one of my thoughts was go to Dumbledore's office and try and use these things, but that might be hard. Good catch. Nice save.
That was a great catch.
But maybe there's somewhere else where the Horcruxes are that they have to bring these things, and Dumbledore knows.
Could like, maybe this is wild, but could the Deluminator destroy a Horcrux in some way?
Could a Horcrux be light?
No, because it's the opposite of light. It's dark.
Could the Deluminator do something more powerful by pulling in like a Patronus or something? Something else that's made of light. Yeah, like could it capture a soul?
Oh, that seems weird.
Because right now we're just thinking it pulls light in, and that's what Dumbledore used it for on Privet Drive back in the day. So
You're right. What happened?
we're just a bunch of burping kids today.
Fireball really does it to us. Because this is the last thing that he gives before he says he can't give him the sword. But he says to Harry James Potter, he read, and Harry's insides contracted with a sudden excitement. I leave the snitch he caught in his first Quidditch match at Hogwarts as a reminder of the rewards of perseverance and skill. As Scrimgeour pulled out the tiny walnut-sized golden ball, its silver wings fluttered rather feebly, and Harry could not help feeling a definite sense of anticlimax. Why did Dumbledore leave you this snitch? Asked Scrimgeour. There's just a lot of allusions here. Innuendos.
On your own too.
I know.
He's reading the chat, that's why.
Yeah. And then he says, Dumbledore left you a second bequest, Potter. What is it? Asked Harry, excitement rekindling. Scrimgeour did not bother to read from the will this time. The sword of Godric Gryffindor, he said.
I wish he at least read the will for this part in case Dumbledore had some hidden like other helpful words in there.
Yeah.
So to just sum it up is a double whammy because we don't get any more of Dumbledore's words and Harry doesn't get the sword.
Yeah, I know. And you're just curious, like, why these objects? What does, again...
What does it say on it again?
Which one?
Because it says, I open at the close. Harry, he nearly dropped the snitch in surprise and excitement. Hermione was quite right. Engraved upon the smooth golden surface, where seconds before there had been nothing, were 5 words written in the thin, slanting handwriting that Harry recognized as Dumbledore's. I open at the close. What does that mean?
I open at the close.
I was thinking it might be a place and like the snitch will open up with a message.
So you're thinking the snitch itself opens up still and it could contain something?
Yeah.
Could it
I hope so.
You said it contained a message. What else do you think it could contain? What would the message be?
More clues to help them. They have nothing. They literally have no instructions. So anything would be helpful.
Yeah, it's true. Could Dumbledore know where they have to go? Like, I almost thought of it as a clue in a place. They're going to get somewhere, and this is going to be... It's going to be a clue that, you know, Ron has to close the put outer, the Deluminator, and then it does something. But if it's the snitch, I open at the close. The close of what? Close of the year? Close of the book? Like when Hermione's done reading through her book and closes it, like then... The snitch will be initiated into like something else, the next thing. I don't know. The close. What else closes? The closing bell of the stock market.
They're going to the stock market. That's the next chapter. Dang.
Excellent. The Gringotts stock market.
Because again, these objects are just weird. You don't know what the heck is going on in Dumbledore's mind. You wish you did. And again, even there's the one point where they're talking about the sword, and what was the line that I think Ron said, like maybe we could just, or have we tried using the sword on Voldemort or something like that?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
Sticking him with the sword. That probably isn't going to work. But what is going on even with that idea? Like, why is he given the sword? Why are they given these objects? And then if there's a message inside the snitch, what is this message?
Instructions.
To find Horcruxes, or to kill Voldemort once they've found Horcruxes?
Anything I would take. Like I said, they have nothing.
It just feels
Yeah,
weird
they
though,
have nothing.
because instructions could be given so many different ways. I was hoping the snitch would have more than just instructions.
Like what?
I don't know, but like
Like a dagger that you could has the poison in it.
I mean, I guess, but if it's like it's the size of a walnut, like what else could be in there? Actually, that's not true because we already know things can have more space, like the Weasley's car or the tent. They can have more space than what it is, so
They hide in it.
it could be. Yeah, exactly.
They just step into
Nice.
it and they hide.
All the Horcruxes
It will
are in
open
there.
when it closes. When Voldemort is dead, it'll open.
Interesting.
When it closes.
Or when something closes in.
Oh. When Hogwarts closes.
Hmm.
Oh.
It's like the ultimate, like if everything goes south and Hogwarts ends up closing, maybe
Hogwarts
for the
wouldn't
school
close.
year, for
'Cause
Christmas.
Voldemort's real
because
aim
of-
and ambition is education. It's magical education, but it's just magical education with only purebloods.
Oof. Would it ever close?
Yeah.
Do they say close the Ministry of Magic? Close? No, it wouldn't close. It would be
Yeah.
overthrown or something. Is there anything else that closes?
We'll come back to this. These are these are the mysteries of this book, guys.
Yeah. we might
There's
not
a
get
lot
that
of
one till
mysteries in
the
this
end.
book.
How
any
quickly did you read this book the first time?
oh,
A day.
it wasn't a day. It was probably 2 days. It was quick though. It was, but there's also was a point. One of my friends was the same. The first time she read the end, the seventh book, she paced herself through it, and she went very slow, especially through like the last 10 chapters. She said, when she was on the last chapter, she said she would read a page and go away and cry and like didn't read anything for a full day, and then would come back and read another page because she didn't want the story to end.
Oh my
And I was somewhat
gosh.
similar. I didn't read this in 2 days. It took me a lot longer because I didn't want it to end. I was like in the middle of these chapters. I probably spent a month on it because I didn't want to just like consume it all in one take. I was
Right.
like,
Wanna binge
I
it.
just don't want this to end. I want to be lost in this world for a little bit longer. So
How cute.
We will wish these books were longer.
yeah, exactly,
oh my
guys.
gosh,
I said that at
remember
the
you said that? I'm like,
beginning.
these books are ginormous.
I know. Don't you wish they were longer though?
Mm. Yes. Some. Yeah.
Definitely.
No,
What
I
if
do.
the Sword of Gryffindor does something at Godric's Hollow because it's Godric Gryffindor's Hollow?
Is this like the sword in the stone kind of thing? Is he gonna put this in a stone and it's gonna like
It's a
you know-
key.
Yeah.
Maybe.
How's he gonna get the sword? Asio, whatever the spell is.
Maybe.
Can you do that?
On magical objects?
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, at least brooms you can.
How far away?
And
do you have to
magic
be?
books.
Hmm.
But that'd be tough. They might have charms to
You
protect
can't
it.
do that. Cause
Yeah,
then
maybe
Aaron
not.
will
I
be
don't know.
grabbing it, right?
Yeah, I guess. And then if Godric's Hollow really is like Godric Gryffindor, it's possible there's more stuff going on there.
Hmm.
And then it's not just a place of Harry's parents' death, but there could be like bigger things happening. But is there a Helga's Hollow or a Salazar's Hollow?
Salazar's den.
Mm.
Helga's
Hutch
hut. Ooh, I like
or
that.
hut.
Yeah.
That's better.
And
Mm.
Rowena's row house. I don't know. Anything else in this chapter before we close? Do our last final ones. I like the line. Ron, you know full well Harry and I were brought up by Muggles, said Hermione. We didn't hear stories like that when we were little. We heard Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and Cinderella. What's that? An illness? Asked Ron. So hopefully we all don't come down with Cinderella.
I don't like that they made Hagrid sleep in the neighboring field. Like, just stay real close, Hagrid.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like
Yeah.
right next to the house, not like a neighboring field. It felt too far away.
I liked his little gift to Harry though. I was like, that's
Oh, yeah, that was a great
Yeah,
gift.
that's really cute. That's a good
Yep.
good idea.
High quality.
Only the owner can retrieve. It was a pouch, a necklace, and only the owner can retrieve the contents in it. So like no one be able to take out whatever.
Really was a great idea.
Yeah.
But I got nothing left in the chapter. Yeah, that's
This chapter kind of sets the rest of the book up. You're like looking at these objects, and it gives you the Horcrux discussion. So you're like, I mean, we get that before. Like we know they're looking for Horcrux, but this one really sets it up. They're like, okay, we have to find something that destroys them. We have to find the Horcruxes. You don't know what the heck these objects
Oh
are.
my gosh, he could put the Horcruxes in the pouch that Hagrid gave, and no one else could take them.
no one can take them back.
There you go. That's
If
story
That's only if
solved.
they can't destroy them right away, but
Well,
I'm afraid they won't be able to destroy them right away.
They don't
So
have
hopefully
anything.
Harry
Take a
can
little
just
more
collect
time.
them, while they try and figure out how to. Wait, could Voldemort be remorseful of killing someone if he finds out later that the person he killed had some greater value for evil, of course? But then
I think it has to be true remorse.
true remorse,
Yeah.
not
Sorrow
just like,
for what
I
you've
wish I
done.
didn't kill them so I could do something
Yeah.
selfish. Has to
Sorry
be
for
real
what you've
remorse.
done,
Okay.
not for what you did. You wish it was like better.
but
That you could've
he
killed
could
someone else
have
better.
remorse if all these killings make Harry stronger.
Yeah, but it's still evil motives, and is that true remorse?
Mm.
Yeah,
I think it'd be nice if there was just no way to be remorseful for him.
there isn't.
There almost isn't. I don't think.
Yeah,
he has the
yeah, maybe
capacity for
not.
Remorse. Hermione was even saying that like he's just
just
beyond that.
But I'm just curious if
because he's
anyone
not
else.
fully human. He's part love potion.
He's part love potion.
That was a
Right.
fascinating idea too. Like he is the product of a love potion, so
That's like
he
a
has
curse.
yeah. So he has like
Oof.
something cursed upon him.
Yeah.
Such a fascinating discussion. Yeah, discussion for that one.
Maybe that's why RAB knows so much about Horcruxes, because he created one too. But he actually was remorseful. And that's why
Interesting.
he joined his soul back. And that's why he was so good at finding Voldemort's, because he had gone down that path too.
So many directions.
So
know.
many things.
We'll keep going. We'll keep plodding along with this book. But give me your hot tamale. I think
Obviously.
obvious. It's an obvious hot tamale.
That
I mean,
Obvious one. We know you
Give me your hot
guys
tamale,
liked
your house cup winner, and
Voldemort's
favorite
wand,
moment.
And I like Ginny.
Wait, go over that again. that was rapid fire. We didn't have to wait for that.
Seriously,
All
what
three of them. Yeah.
What?
All I heard was I like Ginny.
Yeah. No, because I said the guys were obsessed with the wands. So that's their hot tamales.
yeah,
The
with
wands are
that.
the hot tamale in this chapter.
Yeah,
It's not all about wand work though.
so true.
Huh.
Yeah, Ginny, hot tamale, respect.
Yeah.
But even Harry a little. I mean,
What do you mean?
well, teamwork makes the dream work. He must have been a pretty hot tamale if Ginny was calling him over like that.
Oh yeah. All right, my hot tamale is Ginny too. I think Ginny is a clear hot tamale winner in this one.
Yeah.
Ginny.
Ginny all around.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guys' favorite moment?
She was the OG anyway.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
Favorite moment.
She was the OG.
That moment.
Has Jen ever voted for anybody but Ginny for a hot tamale award? That's the real question.
Rarely. 'Cause they don't deserve it.
Yeah. She's the
They
only
have
hot
to
tamale.
beat her, and most people don't.
Not my hot tamale.
Favorite moment.
There are like lovely moments in this where like they're all just together in certain things. So I got you.
I
on
thought
those-
it
all
was
those
really
moments of
sweet.
togetherness.
Like the telling Harry that they were like all in.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, you're right.
That line where he says he wanted to tell them what that meant to him, but he simply could not find words important enough.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the line I was just looking for. Such a good line.
Yeah.
I was like that, and then the one you said before about Mrs.
About
Weasley.
the hug and
Yeah, Those two are mine.
That Mrs. Weasley moment, that hug was my favorite. Again, because it's like, it's also just a perfect, like test or perfect show of how good of a writer you are. It's just perfect subtext right there. You don't put too much in. You put literally one line 2 books earlier about Pruitt, this guy who died, and he fought like a hero. He died. It's like took 5 Death Eaters to take this guy down. And then all of a sudden you learn in this one, off of one little thing that Molly mentions, that Fabian was my brother. And then you put the two together and you're like, dang, such good writing, such great subtext in your writing. Yep. And then just what it meant for Molly to give that was just, she's just a remarkable person. She's great. I love her. So who's your favorite character? Who wins the house cup? Also, wait, Jen, did you say what your favorite moment was? What was your favorite moment?
You already forgot. You like kicked off the Hermione and Ron saying that they were all in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
So good.
I think for me it was when the will was being read. It felt like reconnecting with Dumbledore, even though we're still confused. There was a lot of hope built into that I liked.
Yeah, that was.
That's true.
All right, who wins House Cup?
Harry? Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Harry rarely wins it, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I still feel like he didn't do too much.
Yeah.
But he does feel very confident, even to start off these 2 chapters. When Mrs. Weasley is like, "Are you sure you didn't like misunderstand Dumbledore and what he wanted?" And Harry's like, "No, I know what we have to do." Like this new confidence, he does feel like he's growing up a little bit.
I want to give it to Hermione for when she was summoning the Horcrux books.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
just that alone is so wise, so
right.
Smart, so good of her.
And that's a game changer. That could save the world.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And if she isn't in part of this group, they are dying literally as soon as they take a step out of this house. Like she's putting everything together, putting all the books together, putting the plan together. Really, she is like the soul of this team right now, the brains of this team. So I'm giving it to Hermione too.
Yeah,
Hermione wins House Cup.
I'll flip flop.
Hermione / Harry.
Yeah,
Works.
All right,
it works. Yeah, one of them. I don't know. I wanted to give it to Dumbledore because he was from the grave doing some good stuff. And then honorary, like Mrs. Weasley. I feel bad. She's so stressed. She's doing so much. I feel like in her mind, she put the whole house on her shoulders. She's like trying to carry everyone along. So I do feel for her.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, Mrs. Weasley, because I don't think I've ever given this to her.
Yeah, it's her first one. We'll award the House Cup.
Weasley.
First Mrs. Weasley win. Well, thanks for joining us on our journey of Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. Until next time.
You know, I didn't even think Mrs. Weasley did it that great, except when you were summing it up, giving the watch and how important of a gift.
Yeah,
I was like, man, you're right.
Because she's like working her tail off in these chapters, and then on top of that, she's having these heartfelt moments where she's giving a watch that's been in her family for years. It's just incredible. She's the best.
And we kind of resist it because she's preventing Ron, Harry, and Hermione from doing their thing. But that comes from love and wanting to protect them. And she doesn't understand. So I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Wes gets up at the perfect times. All right. Well, I'm going to end the stream. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. You guys are the best, as always.
Bye, guys.
I got to pee.
Thanks, Natalie. You're a hot tamale.
We got a new hot tamale. Natalie, thank you. Have a great, great night, everyone.
Hey, Wes, what's up?
Just looking at you.